What's going on, Sean? How you doing, buddy? I'm just getting set up here. So we noticed that there's going to be some changes in these lineups. So let me get that to you here, because from what I have initially, it is not going to be the exact first line. So Connor Bedard for Team Canada, as you know, he's going to probably be the first pick in the draft for the 2023 entry draft for this World Juniors tournament. So you get a chance to actually see him. And the first time for me, get a chance to actually look at him. But with Ridley Greig out, he's normally on the third line there with William Dufour and Joshua Waugh. It's probably going to move Connor Bedard and Mason McTavish on that first line. So normally is Bedard, McTavish, and Will Cooley. But the issue for McTavish is he's been doing really well with Connor Bedard. And he's got a tournament point lead, 7 goals and 7 assists in 5 games for 14 points. So Tyson Forrester, Logan Stankoven from the Dallas Stars, and Ken Johnson, the Columbus Blue Jackets product from the U of M Wolverines, is going to be on the second line. Again, it's usually Dufour, Ridley Greig, and Joshua Waugh on the third, so we'll see how that moves. And then the checking line, if you want to call it that anymore, Ellie Denoise, Zach Ostapchuk, and Brennan Othman. So for defense for Team Canada, we're going to go between lines 1 and 3. It's Olin Zellweger, Donovan Zabrango, Lucas Cormier, Ethan Del Mastro, Jake Thompson, and Roman Seeley on that third line. And Dylan Garand will still be the goaltender here for Team Canada. So interesting of note, Sebastian Cossa, the Red Wings prospect, he did get a chance to play in Game 1, and then they split some time in there for Brett Brochu as well. But he's not going to be playing in this. So it's been Dylan Garand since game number 3 of the preliminaries, and it's going to be his net. What's going on, man? How you doing? So that's going to get you caught up there for the rosters for Team Canada. But what about Team Czechia? Let me give you those as well. So coming off of the monumental upset game that they brought to the Americans here, Team Czechia is going to play Team Canada. It was, if everything was going to go as the way it was supposed to be Canada and the United States on the Saturday matchup at 8 p.m. So it's Yuri Kulich, Mikhail Gut, and Jan Misek on the first line for Team Czechia. Gabriel Sturridge, Ivan Ivan, and Adam Matura on the second line. Jakub Kos, Matthias Menschik, and Martin Rasavi on the third line with Tomas Urbane, Matthias Sopolev, and Peter Hauser. Peter Hauser had a hell of a shot there in the last game against the United States. That was the fourth line. So Yuri Taychek, David Urich, the Columbus Blue Jackets product with Stanislav Slozville on the second line, and David Spacek. Svozil and Uricek are Columbus Blue Jackets products with Thomas Hamara and Alex Czech. And Tomas Semanek will be the goaltender per usual for Team Czechia. So I have the recorder out now, and as we get to the official broadcast here, it's going to be Team Canada and Team Czechia. So whoever goes ahead and wins this game will punch their ticket. As you're looking at Tomas Sachanik on the NHL Network feed, if you want to follow along, it's on NHL Network and TSN. So whoever punches their ticket with this win will be playing in the final tomorrow. So the second semifinal, which I will not be covering because I'm going to be doing the game story for Canada and Czechia, will be Sweden and Finland. So if Finland wins over Team Sweden and Canada wins today, that is going to be a high-scoring final on the other side. You're going to look at Dave Cameron, the Canadian coach there for Team Canada. And this is going to be a big-time matchup because when I think about it, covering the game on Wednesday between the United States, it was one of those situations where the U.S. has all the talent, but everybody on NHL Network and TSN were saying this. The big bodies that are involved with Czechia and the physical bruising style of game that they play would be the hardest matchup that the United States would face. And it proved to be true, as Czechia got a 4-2 win. What was interesting here for Czechia before that, they were 1-2-1 in the preliminaries, and they lost to Latvia. They gave Latvia their first win of the World Junior Tournament history. A couple days later, they play the United States and right those wrongs. So Mason McTavish skates offside there. So it's going to be a neutral zone draw here as we are just underway. So all these games have been at the neutral site of Rogers Place in Edmonton, normally where the Edmonton Oilers play. That's where I am tonight. And again, the second semifinal between Finland and Sweden will be at 8 p.m. But I will cover the final game tomorrow between the winner of Canada and Czechia and the winner of Sweden and Finland tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern. So I'll be back on the call for that. Team Czechia wins the neutral zone draw, and they're going to try to get down the ice. This is a one-on-one break there for Urich, and it's stopped by the Canadian goaltender Dylan Garand. So it's the first shot on goal here for Team Czechia, and they look pretty good off that rush. They got a neutral zone draw. They went straight down the left wing of the ice and then get immediate breakaway. They beat down two defenders off the backhand, and Garand had to make the save. So for Team Canada, we're going to go a little bit through this more when we get a break. But as I said, Connor Bedard, they're talking about him being the #1 pick in the 2023 entry draft. Mason McTavish, all these guys are already property of most NHL teams. But this is a U20 tournament, so all these players are under 20, and you get a chance to see these up-and-coming NHL stars, and a lot of them you would expect for Team Canada, just like it was for Team US, although they got eliminated by Czechia, that there's going to be a lot of firepower. Put back toward the left east side of Zellweger and Zabringo that combined for a shot, but it was stopped by the Czechian defense and then turned over. Zabringo's going to hold it now. Off the backhand, power move to the net, and Suchanek made the save, although he didn't know where it was. It was stuck in between the glove and the pads there, and we get a face-off in the defensive zone of Czechia. The shots are now 1-1. That was a great power move there. That was Kent Johnson. The U of M product got right around Sturridge, and Suchanek had to make a big save. So Kent Johnson, when you think about some of his time at U of M, you also think about Thomas Bordelot and Luke Hughes and all these other players there. So it's interesting to see Johnson on the Canadian side, but again, that is his nationality there. You're used to all these guys playing together on the United States or being all together on the same team, but the U of M product travels very well between Michigan and Minnesota and Canada and some of the other places. You get a lot of NHL players like that. So Czechia trying to get this out of their own end. This is picked up now by Johnson off the backhand and now put down the ice. So 18-5 in the semifinals in the tournament history for Canada, which is a 78 win percentage, and Czechia is just 2-6 with a .250 percentage. McTavish trying to get a piece of it, but he has to go back off the backhand and skate backwards. There was too much pressure in his face. As Czechia is still trying to just get this one out of their zone. Canada looking to press a little bit as this is near the right dot of the face-off line, and now picked up by Czechia. This could be a 2-on-3. Holding, nice defense there. Could have been momentary tripping as Czechia tried to look for an outlet pass, a cross-crease pass at that, but he got blocked away. Picked up now by McTavish. Zabringo comes together with a big hit to knock Czechia off the puck, but Czechia is still in behind the office of Saranchik, and then Canada will pick this one back up across the red line. Zabringo now will dump this one in. So he's still on the first line there with Zellweger, and then it's Cormier and Del Mastro off the next change as this gets dumped down the ice. Picked up now by Seeley. And Seeley's shot is going to go up and off the lively inboard. Still fell right to Czechia, and Czechia is going to try to get across the red line. They're going to dump and chase this one across. Picked up now by Nicholas Waugh. Waugh is going to try to get this one out of the blue line side, intercepted by Czechia as they stayed on side. It's 1-on-3, and this one's just going to be backhanded right into the glove of Garand. So 16:55 left to go in the first period. John out here with you from Rogers Place in Edmonton, Alberta. Again, this is the site of the World Juniors. This is the first semifinal game of the day. This is the 4 p.m. start, and then the 8 p.m. contest will see Sweden and Finland. So as I'm writing my story here and getting the play-by-play and everything all set up for the website, I will be keeping my eyes and ears glued to Finland and Sweden just to see these other NHL prospects, because between Simone Edvinsson and some of these other forwards there, between D and forwards, there's a lot of Red Wings products in there that I'm going to be looking at. Back around the blue line. This is picked up by Canada near the right D side, and Oakley lost it. Flipped down the ice. It's going to be a 1-on-1. Czechia will collect here with Sposal. He's got it now. Holding off the backhand. Near the right dot, Spacek looking for a long wrist shot, and this was blocked aside by Garand. Still picked up by Czechia as they use it off the right end boards now near the right dot. Backhand near the cage of Garand, and that one goes wide. And Canada looking to break out here. Mason McTavish trying to go 1-on-3, tried to go in between his skate to get around the defender. And now Canada will try this one more time. Ken Johnson gets bodied up near the red line, and Czechia will get to this puck in their own end as they flip this one down. Nice interception out of the air. McTavish off the back pass, but I believe they're going to be called offsides. As Forrester can't believe it. Stankoven and Johnson were putting on the moves there, and that could have been something for Savanchik to have to make a big-time save, but it was blown dead. So 15:53 left to go in the first period. What's going on, guys? How you doing? Redbox, what's going on, buddy? So the World Juniors Tournament, this is a good chance for me to be able to look at some of these guys that are going to be upcoming in the NHL. Again, as I have some of the roster and stuff in front of me, I apologize. It's not going to be as smooth as butter as like a regular NHL, NBA, MLB broadcast, because a lot of this information is as you can get as it goes along, but I appreciate you sticking around. Canada has it now on their own end. As Kent Johnson tried to get around his man one more time, but he got dumped down the ice. It's near the left side red line as Samanchik had to look around and hold that right post. Intercepted now by Canada. Long wrist shot and then goes wide up the left post. That looked to be like a laser, but it just missed on the other side. Sabrango will crisscross. Picked up now by Stankoven. As Canada's got it, the Dallas Stars product on the left side faceoff dot. Nice moves. He's still holding, but he needs some help. Stankoven still gets it back. He tries to chip and chase it to one of his right-wing partners, and this goes back in behind Samanchik of the Czechian goaltender. 14:50 left to go in the first period. Shots are 2-1 in favor of Canada. Again, is what you would consider if Czechia didn't beat the United States, this would be one of those situations where they would probably be playing Sweden. But because the semifinals reseed and the United States lost, it's Canada, Czechia now. And this big body matchup, I want to see how it affects Team Canada, because it certainly affected the United States, but Canada is averaging about 7 goals a game as that shot got tipped right on, but Samanchik blocked it off with the blocker there in the left stick. Picked up now by Connor Bedard. Connor Bedard tries to get it across the red line. He flubbed on it, and Czechia will pick this one back up. Now, and behind the net, they're going to let their forwards take a change. As Bedard comes together, he wasn't allowed to make his change. Czechia was trying to get a couple extra whacks in there for the top prospect in the NHL 2023 entry draft. Czechia gets an open breakout. It's 1-on-4, long shot, and this was a chance for Garand. Now, loose in the slot, picked up by Canada. It is 2-on-3. Czechia's got 3 back. They're going to elect to put this one in. Samanchik's going to take no chances and hold on to it. So it's 4-1. Shots on goal. If you're following along, you can follow along on either Colorcast or YouTube or NHL Network and TSN as we get our first stoppage. When we come back, we're going to have more of the first period in a moment. Stick with me. So I know, Redbox, you were kind of following along some of the time during the season in between when Cooper Hopkins and I were doing NHL games. Is there anything that you're looking forward to in this World Juniors tournament? Any other players that you're kind of following along or teams that you're following along? I know it's going to be a little bit of a rebuild here for the Montreal Canadiens, but as they say, whoever wins those lottery balls is they're getting a shot of Ridley Greig on the NHL Network. But Connor Bedard, between the Arizona Coyotes and the Montreal Canadiens and the Chicago Blackhawks, I will throw them in there as well. They seem to be on Bedard watch. So they're showing the injury to Ridley Greig, the Ottawa Senators product, and he has been a really good one in this tournament so far. So he's looking really snazzy in that suit up there. And he is really, really good, especially from what I saw in this tournament. But Canada has a lot of depth. Even though they will miss him, they should be able to get around Czechia here. But it's going to be interesting on that final tomorrow, assuming if Canada wins this one, how they'll match up against Sweden or Finland. So we're back into the official action right now. Mason McTavish is going to be the draw taker here. He wins it, but Czechia gets that interception. It's kind of like the NHL game where those guys break out and steal it right when you win the draw. I always hate that. So Czechia gets this one back in behind their own, and then Semifinal has to play this one with the goal stick. Now it's in behind his office. Canada holding off the backhand. Mason McTavish with it now. Sabringo will try to play this ahead to his forward, and this gets intercepted as Czechia will try to break out. It's a 3-on-2. It's an open left wing, trying to look for a cross pass, big time shot. Duran makes the save as it bounces in between the office, and we're going to get a call. This might have been played with a hand, and this is going to take out through the neutral zone draw. So it's 4-3 shots on goal in favor of Canada. And Czechia so far, I know I've said this in the United States broadcast on Wednesday, but they've played a pretty good game so far. And the interesting and familiarity, if you want to call it that, these guys played in the preliminaries. Of course, Canada got the win because they were undefeated in the preliminaries. But it was a close game. It was a 6-3 game. Again, most people wouldn't consider that close. But Canada has had several. They had an 11-1 win over Latvia. They had a 7-0 win, a 7-2 win. So Czechia played them closer than any other team so far in this tournament. Long shot. And Semifinal had seen him blow right by as Seeley tried to get a shot, Ronan Seeley, and that one missed, picked up now by Canada in behind the office of the Czechian goaltender. Canada gets worked off the puck now as Czechia tries to find this one. 12:40 left to go in the first. Wide open backhand! The puck is loose, and one of the helmets are down for one of the Canadian players, but it just missed off the second attempt. So Semifinal made a big-time save. That could have been the first goal of the game there, and Canada just missed out. Picked up now Kent Johnson with a cross pass, and this one gets blocked. Picked up now by Ethan Del Mastro. Second line defense is out there right now for Canada. Johnson, series of moves, finds an opening there as Tyson Forrester has it. Forrester sends this around the kick plate. Del Mastro couldn't hold it. He was the back end of it just in case it went outside the line, but it did anyway. Del Mastro will dump this one in, as you can safely do across the red line without an icing. And picked up now by Team Czechia, as it just eluded Connor Bedard. Stolen there by DeMastro. And Cormier's got it now, but a couple of the Canadian players come together at the blue line and turn it over once more. 11:40 left to go in the first. John on here with you from Rogers Place, the host site of the World Junior Championship. This is semifinal number 1 between Canada and Czechia. 5-3 on the shot board in favor of Canada. And Semifinal had to make a big save just about a moment ago. That could have been the first goal of the game, but we are scoreless right now with 11:20 left in the first stanza. 2-on-3. Hamura, long wrist shot blocked there by Garan. Picked up now casually by Canada, but they turn it over. Team Czechia trying to get on the forecheck as Jurek loses the puck. Hamura also tries to join in there together, but Canada will relinquish some of this pressure, and Connor Bedard is going to dump this one in and take the change. 10:55 left in the first. Canada's got it in the end of Czechia. Long slap shot. Nicholas Waugh, and this one bounces up and out of play. 5-4 on the shot board in favor of the Canadians. Juracek, the Columbus Blue Jackets product, he got it stolen there by Stankoven, the Dallas Stars product. And then it was just all hands on deck there. Serenchik made a big-time save, and Forrester was right in the blue paint, but it just eluded his stick, and that was all the way open on the right side post. So good pressure there by Canada, but good defense there by Czechia to just knock that one away. So it's an offensive zone draw here for Team Canada. And we'll see if Surchek will be on his P's and Q's. Maybe a quick shot here for Canada right off the draw win. But Mason McTavish cannot win it. And this goes back to David Spacek. Spacek off the backhand as it gets bounced up in between the air. Now across the red line, and Nicholas Waugh will ship and chase this one. Serenchuk will pick this one up now for Czechia. Intercepted at the blue line. Zellweger lets it go. Zabrango with a shot. And this one gets deflected. It's going to be a neutral zone draw. 10:35 left to go in the first. John out here with you. I'm your play-by-play man of the World Junior Championship semifinal number 1 between Canada and Czechia. I will be back for the final tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern. So, as every game has been throughout the tournament, it's going to be on NHL Network and TSN if you're on the Canadian side of the border there. 18-time World Junior champions, 3 gold medals since 2015 for Canada. And again, Team USA, since they're out of the tournament, they got eliminated by Czechia on Wednesday. Their dream of back-to-back golds was dashed. Big time shot, stopped there off the draw there by Semifinal. So it's 6 shots to 4 and another offensive zone draw here for Canada. So as we look at some of these other stats, I have some of the things in the prelims. It was Canada beating Latvia 5-2, Slovakia 11-1, Czechia 5-1, and Canada and Finland 6-3. So loads of goals, averaging about 7 per game, are the Canadians. Sabrengo and Zellweger lost it there. Spacek with the interception off the backhand. Nice setup here for Czechia, but this got deflected up in the air, had to be stopped there by Garand, and now Canada will collect as we've almost hit the halfway marker of the first period. Kent Johnson looking off the outlet pass, somehow still stayed onside, the former U of M product there, trying to get a gold medal here for Team Canada. Off the backhand, Stankoven. Now on the right side, Dot. Loose in the air, big save by Semifinal without a goal stick, and now it's in. He couldn't make the third save in a row, and we'll see if this is going to be Kent Johnson's goal. But Canada gets on the board first. That was a superhuman effort there by the Czechian goaltender, but the third opportunity goes in, and this will be Kent Johnson's goal. So Canada gets on the board first, and the U of M product strikes first. So it was left near the right side dot, loose out in front off the backhand. Semifinal without a goal stick. Kent Johnson with the third opportunity puts it in, and it puts Canada on the board. So that was a great sequence of plays there. Kent Johnson finishes it off. Semifinal was pretty much helpless in goal without a stick there, and Canada strikes first, just about the halfway point. 9:56 left to go in the first. That was an electrifying goal there, but a really good effort there by the Czechian goaltender. So Seeley will pick it up now as the draw is won. And Canada has drawn first blood in this game. Again, I said they've averaged over 7 goals a game in this tournament, and they're going to try to get more. Stankoven with a shot, another backhand, and this one stopped there by Semifinal as face washing, and some of these players come together. Ostachuk as well for Team Canada, and we will get our stoppage with 9:38 left to go in the first period. Canada strikes first, 1-0 against Czechia. We'll come right back and call more of this first period action in a moment. What's going on, Patrick? How you doing? I know selfishly, when we were going in, I saw you covering some of the stuff on Wednesday when you were in here with me. I was hoping that the United States would get a win against Czechia. It was not to be so. So now it's Canada and Czechia at this point. So I will be back tomorrow for the final at 8 p.m. Eastern. But this has been a good game so far. And again, you see a lot of pressure there between Team Canada. They score a lot of goals. And we'll see right now. Czechia can kind of just hold it at 1. Stay in the game. They kind of did a lot of that against the United States in the game on Wednesday, where they did just enough to kind of stay in there before they capitalized on a couple opportunities that probably should have been saved by Caden and Birico, the United States goaltender at the time on Wednesday. But it is what it is. And we'll see right now if Canada can go in there and try to just continue more of that pressure. So I do have the goal scorer as Kent Johnson and the box score. And then when we get more look for the primary and secondary assists, I will put that in as far as the game story is concerned. So, offensive zone draw here again for Canada, but we're going to have to do this one again. We'll see if Ivan's going to get bumped out of the draw here for Czechia. No, he's not. So, this bounces off of him. This goes to Cormier, live off the inboard. Semifinal down again. And a massive humanity near the right side post, and you hope that Semifinal didn't kind of break his hand as he was kind of forced into that right side post as the puck was momentarily loose, and we get another stoppage as the Zebras were right on top of that. So Kent Johnson off the spin move here of Juracek He almost put it around Semanchek, the Czechian goaltender. He was holding near that left post. He also put his glove hand in behind so he could try to stop it from going across the red line. He might have just captured it on the heavily padded wallet before it went across the red line. So it's 11 shots for Canada to just 4 for Czechia. And again, this pressure within the last few minutes and this goal within the last couple minutes has kind of superseded this shots on goal total, a 3.87 goals against for Suchanik, a 901 save percentage, which tries hitting the WHL in his minor league stats that they showed on the TSN side. Picked up now, Mason McTavish in behind the red line. Intercepted there. Connor Bedard tried to get a piece of it. He's supposed to be the #1 pick in the 2023 entry draft. We will see about that. So Ken Johnson right now, they have it unassisted as the goal. Picked up now by Zellweger. Zellweger is going to bounce this off the left side dasher, and this is going to be an icing. First got there by David Spacek, and Canada didn't like that, but we're going to go back on the other end, and Czechia will have an offensive zone draw, see if they can win this one and create some opportunities, because Dylan Garand really hasn't had too much to do. He made a couple saves here early, probably about the 16-minute, 17-minute mark, as Czechia had some early pressure, but ever since this goal from Kent Johnson, it's been a little bit in the favor of Team Canada. So Czechia loses the draw and then gets it back near the right side blue line, and the shot goes up and out of play. So we're going to do this one more time. 8:57 left to go in the first period. John on here with you from Rogers Place in Edmonton, Alberta. Yes, that is the site of the Edmonton Oilers and where they play games. It's also the site of the World Junior Championships, and I'm broadcasting now. This is semifinal #1. Mason McTavish, again, we said 7 goals, 7 assists, 14 points. He's got a plus 12 rating. That leads the entire tournament in all of the categories. And again, when you're playing with Connor Bedard, that might give you some more stats, but Mason McTavish has kind of carried no matter where he's been on the ice. He's been an automatic point getter. So defensive zone draw here for Canada. Won again by Czechia, but this is stuck in between a bunch of skate blades, and Czechia will have to relinquish this one across the red line. Picked up now by Spacek, trying to break out of his defensive end for Czechia. Nice stick check in there by Zellweger as he knocks this one away. Now it's going to be a neutral zone draw as we get another stoppage. 8:38 left to go in the first. 11 shots to 4 on goal in favor of the Canadians. So again, this is an opportunity for me, I will just say this open-endedly, to look at some of these prospects that are going to be up and coming. And when you think about Connor Bedard or Mason McTavish, you know they're already going to be properties of probably the Montreal Canadiens, Chicago Blackhawks, Arizona Coyotes with the #1 pick. And Mason McTavish already claimed. A lot of these NHL players are already claimed by teams. Get a chance for them in this under-20 tournament to be able to get some action as a stick flew right in the front of the defenseman there, Dylan Cormier, and he got bounced down the ice. But it's also another opportunity to get some games to be able to call and get some practice, as the NHL season at this point will probably be about a month away. So, Juracek lets his shot go, stopped there by Garand and knocked out of play as Del Mastro gives him a tap right on the gloves, and so that was a big save there as Kos also looks on the other side for Czechia. So good opportunity to get some practice, good opportunity to see some of these prospects and look ahead to what is going to be in the NHL. And it seems like, I know the NHL is not in the same prospect pool and popularity pool as like the NFL or the NBA, or Major League Soccer, things like that. Soccer is always the #1 game in across the world. But the salary cap for the NHL is going to be going up in the next 2 or 3 years. So maybe some of these other guys will get more money. In the sense of $10 million per year is probably the top end point of it. Could we see a 13? Could we see a 14? Some of these other players, as you think of some of these contracts will be open-ended in the next couple of years and be free agents of some of these high-profile guys, you might see that number go up. So hopefully that'll be good and grow the game. Now across the red line, Czechia just trying to get this one out of their own end, and they will dump it down. The NFL kickoff on TSN September 8th through 12th. So they're going to have that stuff even broadcasted on the Canadian side. And why would you not? It's a game that is growing everywhere. But hopefully hockey can do the same, as we've said. Touched up now by Elschek, and this is going to get picked up now, and Czechia will get an offensive zone draw as Logan Thompson will be looking on for Team Canada. So they're showing McTavish, they're showing Bedard a lot, as they should. And again, for Bedard, 3 goals, 4 assists, +8 in the first 5 games. So it is a lot of work in for Team Canada. And again, as the storylines always go for Canada, it doesn't matter what it is. You talk about all these other sports that I mentioned, is Mason McTavish going to try to win this draw? It is a 365 days a year headline here for hockey. So if anything happens between Canada, whether it would be NHL or World Juniors that are broadcasting now, if they don't win, it's always an upset. Good stop there by Garand off the long wrist shot there by Spacek. Picked up now as Canada tries to get that out of their own end. Mason McTavish has this one brushed aside and then intercepted there by Cooley. Picked up now off the backhand. McTavish trying to leave it there for Bedard. This is put in across, and McTavish going to get near the left side dot. Picked up now by Sabringo. Off the long wrist shot, it got tipped. Good stop there by Semanchek. Try to get picked up there by Nicholas Waugh. And this one got brushed aside and turned over again. Here's a chance for Canada. Long wrist shot gets stopped there by Semanchek and held. So I think he's been very strong throughout this tournament. As I've noticed through some of these teams that have lost and moved on, whether it be Latvia or United States, at the end of the tournament, which was really cool, when the teams get eliminated, they have the top 3 that are broadcasted in terms of the end of the game that get a TSO watch, and the top player gets a really nice stick in terms of the emblazoned WJC emblems, which is really, really cool. So it gets a chance for these guys to get a little bit more limelight on themselves as well. So they're showing William Defoe, 152nd overall pick by the Islanders, the 5th round in 2020. So guys all over the place between the first to 6 rounds, and Canada, I believe, has everybody else claimed. Maybe only one player that could be undrafted. I don't know, Connor Bedard notwithstanding again, because he's not eligible yet. But I think everybody else has already been NHL product. There is a lot of undrafted players on Team Czechia, but most notably their first-line defense there with Sladislav Stanzel and Juracek are Columbus Blue Jackets products. So there is some good NHL talent there. But for Czechia, again, Czechia and Slovakia, I know it's been a while since they separated, but normally that would be the Czech Republic, and the Czechs and the Slovaks can make one team. Now it's just the Czechs. So you don't have the same type of level of NHL talent on that side as you normally would if it was the Czech Republic. Ken Johnson off a spin, the Stankoven, but this one got knocked away, picked up now by Johnson as this gets circled around the kick plate. 5:30 left to go in the first. Picked up now off the backhand. Shot goes off the right side of the bar. It looked like the hands might have been in the air, and upon second look, I will get a chance to let you know if that puck went in. When we get a second look, it was Johnson in the Stankoven line, as this was near the right side bar, but I want to double check to see if this puck actually went in. So Semanchik holding near the right post, and that went the outside of the cage near the back end of the net. That did not go in, but upon first glance, I'm glad I held my breath because I would have called it a goal. That looked like a phantom goal, but it was off the outside of the cage. So it is still 1-0 in favor of Team Canada. They are trying to get to the final, the gold medal game tomorrow between the winner of Sweden and Finland. You can see that second semifinal game at 8 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network and TSN. So I'm going to be broadcasting this first game and then giving you the play-by-play game story at hopefulsportsguide.wordpress.com. Cooley. Extra pass. Here is a cross pass to McTavish to Bedard, but great defense by Czechia to knock away a shore goal and then put down the ice now. Bedard watched it sail right by near the right side dot. Picked up now by Czechia as they try to crisscross and play this in between the 3 Canadian players. Nice chip ahead. Optenchuk lets it go, and I think this one is Bedard. He scores! That was a gorgeous look-ahead loft pass, and it was between 3 Czechians. Bedard was the only one that would have been able to pick it up, Somehow he did. Connor Bedard makes it 2-0 Team Canada. That might have been a hopeful loft pass near the neutral zone, but that was just gorgeous. And near the right side, near the low pad side, it was all open for Connor Bedard to shoot at. It was picking cherries for Bedard, and he makes it 2-0 Team Canada. So it was a really good look to see the NHL's probably top pick in the 2023 entry draft, and that was about as cool as you would like, as Bedard makes it 2-0 for Canada. Now, Canada looking to get more pressure here. Almost alluded to a hip check there, was one of the Czechian players, and now Nicholas Waugh will try to collect there with a defensive partner, as there's some kind of pressure here between Dylan Garand's net, and now Canada looking to break out here. Holding off the forehand, a backhand drive. Semanchuk down, he makes the save with the goal stick, and this is dumped down the ice of Czechia. So now Czechia is down 2. They're in unfamiliar territory as compared to Wednesday when they played Team USA. They were down 1-0, and then Czechia scored 3 straight goals, and it ended up being a 4-2 game. But Canada right now has been in complete control, as you would expect. But again, Connor Bedard with his 4th of the tournament at the 15-20 mark, assisted by Gaucher and Cooley. And I will get that one down in the box score as we get a stoppage. So picked up now by Czechia. Czechia, inside the red line, played with the glove hand and knocked down across the red line by Stankonen, as Cooley will get this one down the ice and across the red line. So Canada can take their defensive changes if they wish. And this cannot be kept by Cooley on the blue line side. Czechia will intercept and across the red. We'll see if they can make something happen. And at the end of the first period, you really don't want to go down 2 at the end of the first going into the locker room. But again, some people would say that being only down 2 could be a little bit of a saving grace, because Canada averages about 7 goals per. Spacek throws it out in front. Big time save by Garand with the glove. And this is still in Canada's zone. Cooley trying to get this one out with Seeley. And now this goes back down the ice. And across the red line, Czechia trying to get this across. Spacek lost it now. Oddman will play this one across from Ethan Del Mastro. Del Mastro now in behind the cage of Garand. It's going to take his time, and one of the forwards are going to take this one as well. This is Ken Johnson. Ken Johnson lost it inadvertently in between his skates. There was no pressure. Trying to break right down the middle was Czechia, and it got held off. And now we have some pushing and shoving in between Misak. We get a stoppage. Team Canada now up 2-0, courtesy of Connor Bedard. He got the second goal of the game, so it's Bedard and Johnson with the respective goals here for Canada. Come right back. We're going to end the first period action in a moment.
Did you know credit associates can help you reduce that debt? To find out how, just scan the QR code. But in a nutshell, we can reduce the total amount of debt you owe by almost half, saving you thousands. Cut the decades you'll be in debt to as little as 24 to 36 months. And reduce your stress too. It's easy to get started. Just scan this QR code to see how credit associates can reduce your debt and save you thousands. Credit associates.
So Connor Bedard.
Or raving about Ken Johnson's performance in this first period, but it's not like he hasn't been around in that all term long. You look at some of the analytical numbers brought to you by Sport Logic, and expected goals leading the tournament. He can only have one coming in, but he's getting to all the spots you have to go to score shots, slot shots, rush chances. That's where he scored from. Now, the one he scored was one for the ages with the Michigan lacrosse game, but he has been around it all the time, and as a player, that's consider yourself. Stick with the process, but keep getting chances, and if you keep getting the right spots, eventually the skill will take over, and you may get a puck with a little commemorative moment on it. Ken Johnson is doing right now.
So it's going to be a defensive zone draw here for Czechia, but it's lost, and Canada has about 2:15 before they go back into the first intermission locker room here. But it's a 2-0 score line, as it was Ken Johnson and Connor Bedard, your goal scorers. Picked up now by Czechia in their own end as McTavish tried to get a piece of it for Canada, but this goes down the blue line side. Picked up now Mason McTavish and this is going to get dumped in across the red. This is going to be iced. So now this will give me an opportunity to give you your assist men here for the Connor Bedard goal. So it's Nathan Gauthier, and then I believe this one, according to livesport.com, that's where I got my box score here because TSN does not have that up there. So it's Gauthier and Will Cooley as the primary and secondary assists for the Connor Bedard goal, which is the latest one. So picked up now by Canada in their own end. Ken Johnson will play this across an open right wing. Racing down there is Canada. Nice stick move there, but intercepted there by Czechia. As we've had a minute 35 left to go in the first period. John Under with you on the play-by-play. Glad you can join me here. This is loose out in front. Garand had to make a big save as it bounced in between a couple of chances and skates. Spot check with a bomb, and that one goes wide of Garand. This is picked up now by Czechia. Now across the Tyson Forrester as he will pick this one up in the own end. And this goes now to Nicholas Waugh. Waugh off the backhand is going to leave it there for Seeley. And this gets picked up now. McTavish trying to find Waugh right on the doorstep. And that just eluded his stick. Long shot, Semanchik. Another chance. He makes a glove save with the left pad. And now he's holding the post as the whistle is blown dead. 1:01 left to go in the first period. I think the Czechian goaltender has been pretty good. He's made 13 of a possible 15 saves. All told, a lot of these chances have been prime scoring opportunities with double rebounds, bounces in front, shots in the slot. I think about as good as you can be. And Dylan Garand, he's been pretty good as well. Although, Mikhail Gut was right on the doorstep there for Czechia, and it just went off of his skate blade, and it kept the puck out inadvertently. But I think both goaltenders have been pretty good. But if it wasn't for Semanchik right now, I think the scoreline could be worse. I would say that. 55 seconds left to go in the first period. Czechia trying to get this out of their own end. Now went across the red. It's a 2-on-3. Long wrist shot. Blocked her side there by Garand. And this goes up and on a play with about 45 and a half seconds left to go in the first period. So good contest so far. Again, from my open eyes, getting a chance to watch Team Canada for the first time. I get to see the definite pace of play, the north and south action that Team Canada can provide. And a lot of them have said this, in between the NHL Network and TSN Broadcasting, that between Garand and what he's had to do, Dylan Garand, it isn't really much because the offensive pace of play has kind of brought itself to the forefront. As long as Garand does what he needs to do, and the simple aspect to make the routine saves, Team Canada should be fine. And again, that's what it's looking like so far. Although I do believe from what I saw, this is Czechia for the second time that I've seen them, because when they beat the United States, covered the first quarterfinal game, or the last quarterfinal game, I should say, on Wednesday, but the first one that I've seen. This is a good physical team, a big team for Czechia. And if they can keep it within striking distance, maybe they can have a chance. So being only down 2 might be a little bit of a miracle there. So cross pass from Coyer goes just wide. 5 seconds left to go. His sticks are everywhere. This is in behind the offensive Semanchik. Another long shot gets stopped there, and that's how it's going to end the first period. So it's 15 shots on goal for Canada to just 8 for Czechia, and it's a 2-0 lead after 1. When we come back, we're going to get into the second period action. Hope you stick around for that. If you have any comments, questions, and concerns in the YouTube box, comment box, or the Colorcast box, I'll be happy to answer them. But I will be back at the start of the second period. I'm just going to update some of this box score, and if I see your comments, I can interact with you during the intermission. See you then. Hey, Patrick, what's going on, man? Hope you have a good show at 5 o'clock. I appreciate anyone that's kind of moved in and out of here a little bit. It's been a pretty good game so far. So right now it's 2-0 in favor of Team Canada as we've hit the intermission point. It's been Kent Johnson, the U of M product, with the first goal that was unassisted, and then it was Connor Bedard, who's likely going to be the first pick in the NHL draft, for Nathan Gauthier and Will Cooley. And that's what we got right now for Team Canada after it's 2-0 after 1. So I will be doing tomorrow's final, and that's going to probably depend on, again, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but Canada probably tomorrow against either Finland or Sweden. And when I start writing a game story, I will keep my eyes and ears glued to Sweden, Finland, just to get a little bit of perspective information as far as what to cover and what to look for. So I will just say this: what's upcoming and what I'm going to be working on. Look, we're having what's August 19th right now, so probably a couple more weeks. We're going to end the month of August and get into September. So next week is the NHL 23 beta. So I will be getting an invitation code for that most likely now that the beta is open for Xbox and PlayStation players, whether it be PS4, PS5, Xbox One, or Series. Get a chance to check that out, and cross-gen play will be nice. So get a chance to play with some other people and see what that's like. So I'm going to cover the beta and let everybody know how that is. And then at that point, that'll be the end of August going into September. So we'll have that covered. A couple weeks later is NBA 2K23. So that'll be cool to actually talk about that and get some games in. And in between that point, a couple weeks later after that, it's going to be the start of the NHL season. So in between the NHL season and in between the championship edition of NBA 2K23, that is going to bring NBA League Pass because the championship edition is 150. So it comes with both versions of the game, whether you buy Xbox or PlayStation, so PS4, PS5, or Series and Xbox One, and League Pass for 150. So considering League Pass is usually 150 itself, why not buy the game and get both? So I'll be able to cover the NHL beta next week, NBA 2K stuff, probably talk about that a little bit, and then we'll get back into the regular NHL season and the NBA season, which I'll be covering until the playoffs start. And I would think at this point, I'm going to be covering some games in there with Cooper Hopkins and have a good time. So it should be a busy September all the way through the respective end of the regular seasons. If I was a little more acquiesced to NFL coverage, I could probably do some of that, but honestly, I don't know enough to even do play-by-play or any kind of color stuff. It's not my forte. So I'll be sticking with MLB, NBA, and NHL because I'm pretty comfortable with all of those. But hopefully, maybe someday I can branch out.
Your line clearly has found its chemistry. What about the three of you work so well together that helps you guys complement each other's games?
I think we just figured out where each other are on the ice all the time. The ozone and our forecheck's been really good, so that's a good combination so far.
Keep it up there.
Yeah, thank you.
James Duffy back with Cheryl Pounder, Jeff O'Neill, and Bob McKenzie. If you've been watching this tournament from the beginning, it's been fascinating to watch the metamorphosis where it was all about McTavish and Berard and whoever they were playing with, Brendan Otten usually at the beginning. Obviously, Bedard's still an offensive factor. To now, where Stankoven and Johnson and Forrester, who were fairly quiet the first couple of games, are so dominant out there. How have they turned this completely around?
Things forever, but that's one of the best parts of Canadian hockey is cycling the puck and using their skill on top of that. And when they do that, they're almost unstoppable, and that's exactly what happened on the first goal. And Johnson makes a great play right off the hop here to keep this puck alive. He doesn't try a fancy play, a selfish play.
Just get a little bit of the box score and some of the stats set up here. We got the times of goals also up as well. So at the 10:04 mark, it was Johnson. Or now Stankoven and Forrester. First, it was listed as unassisted, so now I can go ahead and put that in there as well.
In terms of Stankoven's line, especially now that McTavish and Bedard have been broken up. And what he wasn't shy about doing there was coming back, double shifting on at least a couple of occasions in that period and taking advantage of the hot hand. And 10, 12, and 13 are just getting the checks. Complete nightmares here. Stankoven has become a real catalyst for Team Canada. He is really a spark plug out there, the reigning CHL Player of the Year, the great separation that he gets.
So 10:04 from Ken Johnson, Logan Stankoven, and Tyson Forrester, and then Connor Bedard at the 15:20 mark from Nicholas Gauthier and William Cooley. And that's what we got right now, as Canada leads Czechia 2-0.
that's where they want to keep it.
That's specifically that point in the tournament, James. Who's ever going, you're going to play a lot. There's not much time left. The last game's tomorrow. So if you're going good, the coach is going to get you out there.
And I love what you said with that line though, and the ability to tackle. And Frank Hogan one-on-one has been so effective. He has that ability to recognize where the defender is on his hip. That tight turn just to open up the seam, just to open up the lane is really effective.
It's been a frustrating couple of games for Connor Bedard. He just hasn't had that open ice to get away that shot. Here's what Nathan Goldstein said to Mark Masters when he found out he was playing with Bedard. We all know he's a great player. I'm just going to try and compliment him, create space, and feed him the puck so he can take that shot. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, you talk about the frustration, Connor. But only one shot on goal in that quarterfinal against the Swiss. But when he doesn't recognize how to get to open, yet the defender is stepping up in the neutral zone. He recognizes, he takes a quick look, and he steps to the outside because he recognized that Coach's got it. So you see that step to the outside. That gives him the ability to skate onto that puck. Now he's on his off side, so his forehand is to the middle of the ice. Doesn't get all of it. You can see there, but you see the bottom end just push down far side, accuracy, pinpoint for the score of the tournament.
And rejigging the lines and putting Bedard through what, for lack of a better term, is his on the third line means that he's getting more favorable matchup. That goal was scored against the Czech third pair defense. So it's going to be more favorable matchups for Bedard.
Sure, but you said before the game, the number one concern or weakness for Canada throughout this tournament has been their propensity to give up odd-man rushes. Has that been the number one concern again so far for 20 here?
Absolutely. We saw it right at the onset of the first period. And Czechia, this is their game. They need to play off of the rush to be effective. Use their speed to the neutral zone.
All right.
The middle of the ice. You can see the defenders outside the dot.
So I got everything else updated for the box score. Got the score all set up there. Goal scorers. I am going to take a quick break, and hopefully, again, Patrick, you have a good show for the 5 o'clock part of it, and we will get back in the second period of action.
I keep saying they got to watch their starts, but it's like this is just first 7 or 8 minutes they're low and they give up those opportunities, and they're playing with fire, but they keep doing it. And overall, a really good first period for Team Canada. And you're right mentioning Duran, so everyone says, well, he hasn't really been challenged. That's not his fault. He hasn't been challenged. Only 8 shots in that period, but some quality opportunities for Czechia. When we return, more from Gerald Pounder as we get you set for the Women's World Championship, which starts next week in Denmark. We'll preview Canada's chances of repeating.
At GoToBank, we're the go-to people in life. That's why we created the ultimate banking. Easy to use and no monthly fees with direct deposit.
Plug it for ATMs.
And yes and yes. It's mobile banking at its best. Open an account at GoToBank.com.
There's a reason big dental bills often come as a shock. Because sometimes you don't realize what's not covered until you get the bill. That's why affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual is important. It can give you benefits that go beyond what you get from more limited coverage plans. Because no one likes a big dental bill, especially if you're retired or on fixed income. For a free information kit, call or go online now. This isn't some discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance that helps cover over 350 procedures, like cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, root canals, even dentures, at any dentist you want. Dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company helps cover preventive care, basic work, and major procedures, with no deductible and no annual maximum. For your free information kit with all the details, call now or visit sendinfokit.com.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual. Here it is. The way he plays is so spectacular to watch.
Did your favorite make the cut? Find out when we reveal our list.
He could easily be a 40-game player on that top
20 wins now. Sunday, 6 Eastern on NHL Network.
When you have auto glass damage, choose Safelite. We can come to you and replace your windshield. Wow, thank you. Bye. Don't wait. Schedule now. Safelite repair, Safelite replace.
As mentioned, August 25th, the Women's World Hockey Championship begins in Denmark. Canada will open up against Finland on the 25th as it tries to defend the title it won last year here in Alberta. Kick the guys off the set to give Cheryl Powers the space and time she deserves. It was almost a year to the day that Canada kicked off its last Worlds against Finland. A repeated Poulet scored in that game. But something more notable happened. What was it?
Sarah Villiers, James, that's when she made herself known to the world, breaking out as
All right.
to get her first senior international goal in that game, and it was the game winner. So she broke onto the scene with a vengeance. She will be a superstar. She is already. In her north-south game, she's got some of the greatest speed in the world, crossover speed as well. She will.
All right, guys. So I am back. We are in the first intermission here. It is 2-0 Canada. It's been fun so far to cover the game on Wednesday between Czechia and the United States and now Canada and Czechia itself. I would imagine that it's going to be Canada and then probably Sweden or Finland. Canada-Finland would be a lot of fun tomorrow. If you get a chance to look at that one.
With those stars missing, handicap Canada's chances of winning what would be a third straight gold medal, World and then Olympics.
Well, there's certainly a ton of experience and a ton of talent on this Canadian team. You have to look to the United States as well. They do not have Brianna Decker, arguably the greatest passer in the world as well. But you're talking about someone like Marty Decker, the MVP also of the 2018 Olympic Winter Games. Two words that sum up her game: poise and patience. She has the ability to open up lanes. She stalls to create space for the line mates that she plays with, and she is so extremely effective. So you can't replace flanks like Spooner and, of course, Natalie Decker. Claire Thompson on the back end going to med school. She was their most offensive defender at the Olympic Games. So there are some goals to fill. But there's some great talents coming up as well.
And kudos to this woman because she's going home to do laundry maybe for one day and then taking off to Denmark. Yeah, see each other. Hey, bye. Cheryl will be, of course, a huge part of our coverage of the Women's World Championship. And as she is for the World Juniors, we're through one period of the first semifinal game here in Edmonton. 2 goals for the Canadians, and that's your difference so far in the hockey game. Gordon MJ and the second right after this on TSN.
This is Sandra. She gets her financial advice from her mother. This is Tony, who gets his financial advice from his old college roommate. And this is what Frank used to say. He got smart about retirement at smartasset.com. Connected with vetted fiduciary financial advisors to help turn his retirement priorities into a retirement reality. Everybody sure misses Frank. Smartasset.com. Take our free quiz and be matched with up to 3.
I can't help but think about when I see this come across the screen. Neutral network is I'm following along on now. Nazem Kadri for Calgary. So I'm between Mackenzie Weegar, Jonathan Huberdeau, Cole Schwinn, a first-round pick, and now Nazem Kadri for Matthew Tkachuk. Because they lost to Androni Gaudreau. Canadian teams are going to look a lot different, and the Calgary Flames certainly look a little different, but I certainly believe that they're going to be just as good as they ever were.
You're sitting there thinking about quitting? Don't. Because today This is NHL Network.
6 different point getters for the Canadians third line period of play. But for second for you, once again, Gordon and Mike Johnson.
And Mike, there's an area in which Canada has improved dramatically. There's an area where the United States really struggled against Czechia.
The single biggest difference between what Canada was able to do against the Czechs in the first period and what the Americans were not able to do was Canada moving the puck out of their own end cleanly. And it's something Canada wasn't great at the previous couple games and was going to be a real big part of this one. But right from the get-go, the puck battle, the decision making, and then the skill to make passes under duress have all been there for Canada. It's allowed them to not play in their own end a whole bunch. And eventually, when you get good players, good service, they will create chances. And as the period wore along, the more good plays Canada made, the more chances they have to play in the offensive end. And eventually, you got to go directly related to a quick breakdown play that ends up on top of the ground stick. Exactly what Dave Cameron was hoping to see. An uptick in execution on breakdowns led to a period that was dominated by Canada.
Canada got everyone behind the bench is contemplating what's ahead. Head coach of the Ottawa 67s of the Ontario League.
He's had to work. It's not like he's just going to plug and play his lineup. He shuffled around quite a bit. The trade injury has been a big issue for the team to work through last 2 days.
So second period action is underway, and I'm back here with you. John out here with you from Rogers Place in Edmonton, Alberta. It's the host of the World Juniors Tournament right now, and it's a couple chances there, and Grant had to make a couple big-time saves off a couple slap shots, as Duranic made a couple slap shot bids on Gerard. So I'm going to be giving you the rest of this action and letting you know hopelesssportsguy.wordpress.com. That's going to be the site of the play-by-play and game coverage. Hopefully you don't hear any barking dogs or lawn mowers here throughout the rest of it, but the rest of it will be good. Coolidge got upended on the other side too, and then Mason McTavish, he was on the doorstep there. Jan Mysick was able to just clear it away there as Grant had to make a big save for Canada. So there's 11 Canadians that could return for the 2023 World Junior roster, and that is a lot different in comparison from last year to this year. It was just one returning player, but it's a 2-0 lead for Team Canada. They're trying to get in the final tomorrow to take on the either winner of Sweden or Finland. If it is Finland, it's going to be a really high-scoring game, and if it's Sweden, there's a lot of Red Wings prospects that I have a chance to look at and see. But again, in terms of something like this, as I've said, Canada is always in that news cycle. But you get a chance to look at some of these guys that are going to be the up-and-coming NHL players, and a lot of them, especially for Team Canada, are already properties of other NHL teams. And Connor Bedard, who has a goal in this game as Canada leads 2-0, is supposed to be the top pick in the 2023 entry draft. So is there a lot to look for? And the Czechians on the other side have Yaroslav Svozil and Jurček there as Columbus Blue Jackets products. So Cormier has his shot go just wide, and then a backhand there by Johnson goes just wide there of Saranchik, the goaltender for Czechia. And this goes down the ice. Picked up now by Canada as the icing is waved off. And now Dylan Cormier will get this one down the ice. He tried to find Tyson Forrester. This one bounces way up in the air, but it's still in play somehow, as this is in behind the net of Czechia. Now they're looking to break out here. Spacek, David Spacek, and his pass bounces up into the player's bench and goes up and on a plate. So 18:34 left to go in this second period. 15-10 of the shots on goal in favor of the Canadians. But more importantly for them, they lead on the scoreboard 2-0 in favor of Czechia. So if Czechia were to lose this game, they would still be able to play for the bronze medal at 4 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to be covering the second game, the gold medal game, and that's going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. There is a second semifinal, because this is semifinal number 1. This is Canada and Czechia. The second semifinal will be Sweden and Finland. So as I'm getting the play-by-play and game story ready, that it's going to be doing on the site for this game. I'll keep my eyes and ears glued to that one and see what's happening, see if I can get some information that I can bring for tomorrow's broadcast. So Sabrin goes out there on the first defensive line out here for Team Canada, as it's Mason McTavish in on the draw right now. So McTavish, he lost it, and this goes to Team Czechia, and this gets cleared down the red line side and picked up by Canada now. Bedard off the backhand, still holding. He's going to leave it here for his defense. He's going to peel back a little bit more because Czechia was kind of making life difficult. Sabrenko has been the team leader with 20 minutes and 3 seconds of ice time per game for Team Canada. And that's usually the way that it goes because you have your 6 defensemen that are usually out there. You can dress a 7th one and have it in the back end or an extra forward, but usually between your 12 forwards and your 6 defensemen, because you don't have as many, they're going to lead on the ice time. And Sabrenko has got the brunt of that load of work. So Mikhail Gut is going to try to win this draw. He got sandwiched off the draw, and they might just be doing this one again. Is Gauthier is going to get a chance to get in there with Gut for Czechia. So 18:08 left to go in the second period. Glad you can join me here, drawn out with you on the play-by-play call. Rogers Place in Edmonton, Alberta, the site of the World Junior Championships. This is semifinal number 1 of the day. Picked up now. Zellweger watched it go by as this goes down and across the red line. And this is going to get picked up by Spacek. He plays this across to his defensive partner. As Semifinal still looks on, the goaltender's been pretty good here for Czechia. And the shot board is 15-10. There's another one, 15-11 now, as Grand makes the save with the left pad. Picked up now in behind the net of Team Canada near the left side red line and rattled around the kick plate. Czechia just trying to get some forechecking in and trying to create some opportunities. It's been a little bit lackluster at times. It seems to be a little bit of stops and starts. Maybe they look good for a couple minutes, and then Canada forces the pace of play. But as you would expect, they got a lot more NHLers or prospect NHLers on that point. But Czechia has a lot of big and physical size as Grand makes another save with the left glove, and this one is going to fall back to the left post and is going to be held by Garand as he takes no chances. So now the shot board looks to be 15-13, and as we've said, when Canada averages about 7 goals per in this tournament, Czechia, as Urbain had his shot go up and out of the glove of Garand, and then almost past Ostachuk and in the net. But Czechia has been able to use their size and physicality to be able to hold opponents more than what you normally would. Again, 5 goals. It was still 5-2. Czechia lost to Canada, but they beat the United States 4-2 in the quarterfinal game. So they're able to hold Canada, which is normally around 7-5. I mean, you take what you can get. Shot goes up and out of play as it was blocked nicely with a couple active stick checks there by Team Czechia. So 16:58 left to go in the second period. Canada up 2-0. And it's going to be a neutral zone draw. There's a lot of Team Canada fans out there right now, and you would imagine that would be the case because you're in Edmonton, Alberta. As you're looking at Lauren Garand on the NHL Network side, which is Dylan Grand's father, the goaltender right now. He's got to be happy with what he's seen. Again, Garand, he didn't play as much in the first couple of preliminaries, but he's got a 918 save percentage in the first 4 games. Played 89 saves on 97 shots, good for about 920 save percentage. So he's been pretty good. When Sebastian Kosa, the Redmonds product, got the first game, and that was pretty much it at that point. So Garand is going to play this one now to the defensive forwards there of Zellweger. William Dufour also out there as well. Zellweger got hip checked hard, and on the other side, it's going to be a drop pass. Kulich with a shot. The Buffalo Sabres product, they haven't said his name a lot. We said his name a lot on Wednesday, but he puts the wrist shot right on, and this one's stopped by Garand. It was a good-looking wrist shot, but again, there really wasn't much for Kulich to do. He just elected to shoot it off the left side wing before a stick got a chance to block any opportunity that was there. So Garand has made 15 saves, and Semifinal has made 9 of 11 saves right now, but I feel like all of his opportunities have been primo, right on the doorstep. Shot right on, gets blocked by Team Canada, and picked up now. Mason McTavish trying to play this one ahead. Ken Johnson. Johnson tries to move this around with Connor Bedard. Picked up now. McTavish trying to find this one as Coast will chip this one ahead. and across the red line now. Czechia will find this nice play ahead. Couple active stick checks there. Stop Coast from getting a primo opportunity on Garand. He did make one save, but it could have been a hell of a lot worse, and it could have been a goal there for Czechia. Good opportunity there for Coast, but even better defense there by Team Canada to deny a sure opportunity. Picked up now, Coast. Going to try to set this back up. Another shot. Garand doesn't know where it is. Massive humanity in front, and now he finally picks it up as face washing, and now they're falling into the goaltender. The Zebras trying to brace this one away as Mikhail Gut didn't like his helmet get knocked off. Sturridge getting worked over on the Czechian side as Kent Johnson goes and feeds him some lunch. So some action on both sides there. Garand, he had it go off his left glove again. This was the second time out of 3 opportunities that he couldn't hold it clean. He tried to hold it in between the blocker side, and then there was just a mass that came in there to try to pry that puck loose. And Coast on the previous one there for Team Czechia, good defense there to try to knock that one away and just stop Coast from getting an opportunity there. So that was great work by Team Canada on the defensive end of it. So this is going to be a neutral zone draw here, and Czechia is going to want to win this one and try to supplement any offensive pressure that they have, but it was a draw loss, and Canada can corral this thing in their own end. It's a 3-on-3 across the red line now. Czechia will pick this one in across the red coast, trying to find this now as he spins off the left side dot. Now Hamamura will try to pick this one up here for Czechia, as the defenseman will try to pinch and support, and you like that. When the defenseman pinch, you want to have your forwards back on the other side to keep that spacing. Shot on gets stopped there by Garand. So now the shots are 15 all aside, but Canada's got a 2-0 lead. So this has kind of settled down a little bit as far as Czechia getting some opportunities, and we've seen that a little bit in that second period. And Hamura puts another shot right on, and now Czechia leads the shot board 16-15 on Canada. So again, as I've said on Wednesday, this second period, it was 1-1 after 1 against USA and Canada. And in the second period, it was a couple unanswered goals for Czechia to take a 3-1 lead and ultimately a 4-2 win. So we'll see if Czechia can continue to put on the pressure. Right now, they have 8 shots this period. Canada has yet to record a shot, but they do have a 2-0 scoreline advantage with 14:59 left to go in the second period. So the puck is dropped now. I'm going to try to turn my TV up a little bit here just in case you hear a barking dog. My apologies. I can't really edit that out even when I go into the post-production, as this one goes up and out of play. 14:50 left to go in the second. Stankoven 8-8 on faceoffs in the first period, and that'll be good there for the Dallas Stars. Again, because Logan Stankoven is a product of the Stars. And again, when Cooper and I covered some of those games in between Calgary and Dallas in the first round of the NHL playoffs, sometimes faceoffs were a little bit hard to come by. Stützle with a shot right on through the traffic, and this one gets stopped by Garand. So Czechia has 10 shots so far in this period, and we're still 14:46 left to go in the second. So Garand has been solid. I don't think any of the ones have been super difficult, but I think it's one of those ones where Czechia wants to get that volume, and they're getting it right now. They just need to find a way to get in the score sheet. So face-off is going to be done again here. So it's still 14:45 left to go in this second period. John Under with you from Rogers Place, the host site of the World Junior Championships in Canada. We'll just get this one down and across the face-off win, but they could have something now. Cross pass, Connor Bedard, and this one gets blocked in off a skate and goes up and on a play. So we'll see if Canada can do something on the neutral zone draw, maybe get a shot on goal in this period so far. Look, I know there is a lot left at 14:37 in the middle stanza, but it's one of those situations that you're just not used to seeing Canada not having some of those opportunities. So Svozil was a 69th overall pick by Columbus in 2021. It's a third-round defense, and he's going to be also in there with David Urich as well. So that is a good, big physical lineup coming there for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Kent Johnson had his bid knocked away there. And this is picked up now by Coast. He's had the previous opportunity. He tried to look for a redirect, but that went just wide. Spot check. We'll put this one in there. Coast tries to get in off of the forecheck side. And this one goes back across. Picked up now by Czechia before it goes across the blue line, and then we'll put it in behind the office of Garant. Canada will set this one down, looking for a breakout! And big save by Semifinal. I'm not sure who that was for Canada, but got wide open off the breakout pass. That was an absolute dart down the opposite end of the opposite blue line, and that was set up there. And let me take a look at it right now if I got my numbers in front of me. And again, some of these numbers are different from what I see, but Kent Johnson was the recipient of I believe, a Devin Sabrango pass, and Kent Johnson almost had his second goal of the game, but Suchanek made a gorgeous save. But that was one of the best passes that I've seen in this tournament. A long dot, end to end on the blue, 52 saves on 57 shots combined so far here for Suchanek in the last couple games. So picked up now. And it's going to be a chance for DuBois to try to get a chance on it. So Suchanek said no on it. So it's 17-17 now. He's made a couple big saves from the Tri-City Americans goaltender. He's kept this one at 2-0. Canada's trying to look for a third, and Suchanek knocked a couple primo opportunities away. Come right back. We got more second period action in a moment.
This chicken. Just give me a bunch of chicken. Oh, wait, there's 2 hot sauces in that. Since it's that one.
I actually like some. Can I get chips?
I don't fucking want it.
Silly boy. You gotta stop working, baby.
For bundling made easy, go to
Come
geico.com.
on, silly.
It's the prequel to the groundbreaking Game of Thrones House of the Dragon. HBO original series streams Sunday, August 21st.
Welcome, sit in the chair.
And you can only watch it on Crave.
Kent Johnson.
Want to come sit in the chair? Come here.
Great recognition by Borchler.
Come on, baby.
He gets the fight on the cage when that his pad gets to the ice. But he never gets going back and forth. That opens up the seams. Like this some kind of pass. And shuts himself back, and Sonic fights, goes down, but he's still kind of sliding in a straight line, which allows him to get across. And then there's lots of room underneath the arm of Sonic, but Johnson elevates just a little bit much. Sonic recognizing how close that one was. They managed to keep it out. Keep this game close.
Fortune got some games with Lehigh Valley, which is Philadelphia's.
So it's going to be an offensive zone draw here for Canada. We're going to have to do this one again. I got a Pekingese in here with me in the room, so hopefully he gets a chance to be able to settle down and relax a little bit. Suchanek with a big time save, and we're going to do this one again. So it is 18-17 left to go. Not left to go, I should say, but 19-17 on the shot board. 13:43 left to go in this middle stanza. John on here with you from the World Junior Tournaments. I got the NHL Network coverage, TSN also there as well, if you want to follow along live. And then we get another chance, I will close this door here. So this is going to be a chance for Gauthier. Stankoven gets a piece of it now as this goes up off the left side of the bar. Picked up now by Canada as they try to rattle this around the kick plate. Off the backhand side now. Stankoven tries to get a piece of it. This goes back to the blue line side. Suchanek makes a big time save. 13:26 left to go in the second period. And we got some pushing and shoving on the other side of it. But it's Canada finally starting to make some inroads in this second period. They finally have about 5 shots on goal. The first 10 shots were all in favor of Czechia in this second period. The shot board is 20-17 in favor of the Canadians, and the score line is 2-0. Chance now for McTavish to win up the draw. Picked up now by Canada as this is loose in between a couple of sticks and skate blades. Czechia now trying to find this across the red line. And this goes up between the players' bench and on a play. And a lot of these players now, Czechia, again, as they've done throughout the Wednesday contest that I covered with you between the United States and Czechia, a lot of physicality, a lot of body blows, a lot of just sticks and work and everything else. So Czechia is trying to use that size to punish any of these teams. And this has been a game right now that the scoreline hasn't got all lopsided. Czechia hasn't been able to get anything past Grand yet, but still, they're well in this game. Kos, off the backhand side, gets knocked away there by Mason McTavish. Kos tries to rattle this around the kick plate. Long slap shot there for Spacek. This gets picked up now. Sfolzo with a slap shot, as both Columbus Blue Jackets products are out there right now. Back around. Sfolzo will put this around, and this is an offsides here. So Sfolzo from the Wednesday game, after he had a couple wrist slap shots get denied, as Wasabi comes together, he was called for knee, and he was also called for like a slew footing. So he's done with all the game misconducts here, and he's trying to be able to get some extra play as the puck went in the Canadian bench, and some of the coaches had to duck for cover. So on the other side of it, when you see some of these other players play, it was Andre Pavlovic was the assistant coach, and Andre Pavlovic was a goaltender for the NHL. So I didn't know he was assistant coach for Czechia. That's pretty cool. So now that all the Czechian players are done with the penalties, and Sfolzo in particular, you can use that size and everything else to your advantage. And they look pretty good so far in this game, all things considered. Look, I know they got Team Canada on the other edge of it, but still, you take what you can get. You're within two right now, even through the halfway point. Maybe you try to get one in the third. Nice drag ahead, and Veracek couldn't find anybody. Man, if he would have shot that one, that could have been a difficult save for Garand to make, but he was looking for the slick cross pass, but it just wasn't open. Stankoven from the Dallas Stars, rink wide pass. And Svanacek makes the save. Gauthier comes together with Thomas Urbane, and we get a stoppage here. So between the lines of Connor Bedard, Mason McTavish, Will Cooley, or Tyson Forster, Logan Stankoven, and Ken Johnson, first and second lines have been really well done. And Urban made a great pass across and a great move, but Sturridge wasn't there on the doorstep. And if he was, Garand, it might have been a 2-1 game. I don't know if he would have been able to make that save. So between Ridley Greig, not there for the Team Canada and product of the Ottawa Senators, he's normally on that second line. Team Canada has been fine, but I would like to see just how much firepower Ridley Greig would be able to provide if that was the case, if he was able to play today. But he's not going to be playing today. He's not going to be playing tomorrow. Kos gets it up now off the backhand side. I noticed he's getting a lot of extra time. He's normally on the third line, but Kos has kind of looked to be the best player here for Team Czechia. Although he's not been on the board, and Team Czechia has not been on the board, he's been all over the ice. So this is going to be a touch-up here for Canada, as Ethan Del Mastro will win the hybrid icing race. And we're going to get a offensive zone draw here for Canada. 11:37 left to go in the second period. John Otter with you from Rogers Place in Edmonton, Alberta, the host site of the World Junior Championships. Again, this is semifinal number 1. Semifinal number 2 is going to be Sweden and Finland. That's going to be 8 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network and TSN. And then the final will be 8 p.m. Eastern, because the bronze medal game will be at 4 p.m. tomorrow. And then the final, which I will have here for you, will be at 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. So Hauser picks this one up now across the zone. A big hit by Team Canada. Knocked one of the Czechian players down, but I couldn't catch the number there. Canada off the forecheck. Johnson trying to make a couple extra moves there with McTavish. Big time hit again as Canada's laying the body down. And Stankoven gets worked over on the other side. Still with the puck though. Cross pass. And Semanich makes the save. And Canada still with it in the offensive zone near the right dot. Picked up now. Stankoven trying to find this off the dump and chase across the kick plate. Back now to him. DeFore tries to get to it now as the third line's out there for Team Canada. Czechia lost it, and now this gets dumped down. So Chanik has to hold that right post just in case it bounces to him. And we're getting close to the halfway point of the second stanza. There's a chance for DeVore. McTavish tries to get a cross pass from DeVore, and it goes just wide. DeVore tries to collect. Kept in across the blue line, but now they got to skate back. Logan Thompson now. He's holding. Thompson lost it, but this gets him behind DeVore. He gets bumped off the puck there by Team Czechia. And Czechia now, as we've hit the halfway point of the second stanza, trying to get this across the red line. Again, this has been some ebbs and flows where Czechia had the first 10 shots of the second period, and then Canada has responded, and now Czechia has had some trouble trying to get into the offensive zone as the shot board that was once 17-15 in favor of Czechia is now 22-17 in favor of Canada. So we just hit the halfway point. We get a media stoppage. Canada is up 2-0 on Czechia. Come right back. We're going to call more of the middle stanza in a moment.
NHL Network.
Hi, baby boys.
You could feel that there might be a penalty coming up sooner than later as Czechia got a little bit loose with their sticks, and sure enough, they eventually get one. Here's the first one. Sapchuk. That's a pretty good can opener into the hands on an open
Hi,
arm.
babies.
That's usually a call. And then transport back door. So it's not the thing that it's the corkscrew off the hip that makes it a hockey penalty. And then they finally committed a correction that they can't really make a decision on by having 6 guys on the ice. Van's out there when his guy did not come off. Right. And so there's no real decision to be made when you have 6 guys out there and the puck on your stick.
So Canada is on the power play now that we've come back in from the action. I believe it was too many men on the ice there for Czechia. So it's the first power play of the game, and we'll see how Canada will look on it. Again, they've been pretty good, although I believe Finland has had almost a 50% power play, and that's going to be coming up next after this matchup is done. So specialty teams could make the world of difference, especially not only in this game, but tomorrow's final contest, depending on which teams are going to be playing. So Canada racing down across the red line now. They're going to look to break out and now back pass this and start again. As the defense trying to bring this one in first to try to get the forward set up to get in their spots to shoot, but Czechia was having none of it. And across the red line now, Ken Johnson will play this across, and Ken Johnson will let Zellweger just crisscross in. He's the one that's going to go all the way and dump this one in. So the Canada attack so far early in this power play is to let their defensemen get into work and chip this in and start it, and then they get back in their spots. Ken Johnson is in the right dot. He collects it now. As this goes back, Johnson crisscross this to McTavish. Bedard off the right post. Svedicek was down and out, and it just flitted across the right bar and stayed out. Picked up now. Here's a chance. Stankovic scores! He was by himself. And that's a recipe for disaster. So the Dallas Stars product, Logan Stankovic, makes it 3-0 Canada. And, man, that was a bullet dodge at the beginning there of Semifinal there. It went up the right post. But then when he got it back, as it just went up the right post, it was Stankovic by himself, pretty much racing right down the middle. And it's an easy goal here for Canada. So 3-0 is your score now. And again, maybe this is one thing I will say this is the first power play of the game is converted. I noticed, even though just covering one game Wednesday and then the game today and then tomorrow, there's not been a lot of penalty calls. It pretty much has to be drastic for it to be called in the World Juniors. So they're letting a lot of these guys play. As Stankovic gets the goal, 8:32 left to go in the second. Czechia just trying to bark on some of those signals. And I think he's just yelling at his guy that came out of the box with the too many men. He's like, listen, you gave us a bad mistake there and gave us another goal that we have to try to get out from under. And at 3 at this point, I don't know if Czechia is going to have enough firepower to be able to get through and get the result that they want, which is a chance at a gold medal. They might have to settle for a bronze. unless they can start getting something going on offense here. Cross pass off the bar. Another chance for Canada. And the shot got whistled wide off the right post. So Semanchik, couple bars already, but Stankoven just got the third goal of the game. Picked up now. Here's a chance for Cormier. That gets blocked off. The backhand goes wide. And now we get another stoppage. 7:49 left to go in the second period. And we'll see what this is going to be on. 23-17 of the shot board in favor of the Canadians. Too many men on the ice. And let's see who this goes against. I think from the chorus of boos, I would guess that this is going to be from Team Canada. They are essentially the home team right now. Ken Johnson to Stankoven. That's as easy as you like right down the middle of the ice with nobody picking them up. That made it a 3-0 game. So, good-looking shot there. I think all the Canadian shots that have been goals, they've all been excellent snipes and good-looking chance there. So now Canada is guilty of a too many men. So Czechia just got scored on that a moment ago, and now we'll see what happens as Czechia gets their first power play as Canada commits the same infraction. So that makes things pretty interesting. Juracek gets it now to the forwards. Coast trying to play this one across. Has it now near the right side dot. We'll play this back toward the left side face-off dot. And hold. Foolish. Buffalo Sabres product. Centers it out in front. Big save by Garand. It's loose near the right post. And Czechia trying to find him. Kulich, I think, just put it right into Garand's gut there as Mikhail Gut was also on the doorstep. So 7:26 left to go in the second period. John on here with you from the World Junior Semifinal game number 1, Canada and Czechia. And it looks like right now this result is going to hold. Again, we have a little bit more than a half a period to still go here, another period of play in the third. But it looks like Team Canada is in a good spot right now to make their way into the gold medal game, where they'll await the winner of Sweden or Finland. That game is going to be on 8 p.m. Eastern on TSN and NHL Network. Jan Mysak. Here's a chance to get a draw on Mason McTavish off the power play. He wins it. Mysak. Kulich now to Mysak. Coast is on the doorstep there waiting for a screen. Shot goes there, but this is picked up now by Seeley as it gets out. Now, Czechia will keep this in near the right side dot. Pass across. They hit one of the Canadian players instead. And Canada will kill some much needed time. And Czechia will try to circumvent here on their first power play and make something happen as it's about halfway expired with 6:50 left to go in the second period. Czechia looking to break out now. It's 1-on-4 and it's an offsides. Too much time for Vasavi, and he skated offsides there. 6:46 left to go in the middle stanza. 23-18 are your shots on goal in favor of the Canadians. They have a 3-0 scoreline right now. And I would hate to say it's a must score for Czechia here, but with 6:46 in the second and down 3-0, I would have to imagine if Czechia can find a way to get a goal before this second period ends, they will be in a much more formidable spot. If they're down 3, I just don't know if they have enough to get all the way across and find a way to get a win. Czechia trying to break out now. They're going to take their time. 35 seconds left to go on the power play. Instead, they're going to dump this one in. And Czechia is going to have to be sure that they get their forwards in there and try to pry this loose because you don't want to dump the puck in for nothing. Now toward the left side red line. This is just a battle for the puck right now, and Canada's kind of just bleeding this power play time away here for Czechia. As long as the puck keeps moving and the ref deems this to be playable, as Roshinsky's trying to find it, that they can still continue to kill this time. Down to 5 seconds. So Czechia had a couple shots early, but the power play is going to effectively end. Canada scored on their first. Czechia did not score on theirs. Czechia now cross pass. It goes just wide to the left post of Garand. Picked up now by Mikhail Gut. Gut now trying to play this here ahead for Rasavi. Trying to play a cross pass here to Gut, but it got found by Team Canada. Picked up there by Juracek. Juracek now, as this goes back to Canada. Trying to get picked up now by Czechia and across the red line. And now dumped in. Canada is going to have possession with about 5:15 left to go in this second period. Canada enjoying a 3-0 scoreline, looking to punch their ticket to the gold medal game. And Czechia just committed a penalty. We'll see what the infraction's on. That could be very, very costly at this point. They already been scored on the first penalty. And Canada taking their time. Johnson, series of moves, still has it. And Czechia finally touches before something happens. So a slash is going to be called against Czechia. Logan Stankovic makes it 3-0. When we come back, we'll find out who the guilty party is for Czechia and see if Canada can go from 2 for 2 on the power play in the game. Come right back.
Women's World Championship begins next Thursday. Canada takes on Finland. That's at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Pacific Tuesdays are hosting coverage all tournament long. Angela Long, Cheryl Powder, be our coverage there. To watch some summer for us, y'all. Fantastic. 3 tournaments in August are with Gretzky, you know this, and the Women's World. Canada back to the power play. Coach Dunn. We're trying to find Bedard in the high slot. There's a belly slot. What I think they should do is just get Dunn deeper. Everyone jumps to Bedard. Pass it through his feet. If you want to go through his feet, take over the
So 5 minutes left to go in this second period. John out here with you. Canada's enjoying a 3-0 lead. They got their second power play of the contest. They're already 1 for 1 with the extra man. We'll see if they can make it 2 for 2. Czechia trying to get this out of their own end. McTavish trying to find it now. Picked up now Stankovic. Johnson, McTavish. And this is picked up now by Stankovic. Has it now. Johnson. Kent Johnson holding on near the right side faceoff dot. McTavish. Pass across. Here's a chance. Seeley holding. Gets it back. And now shot by Johnson, but his stick broke in half. Loose out in front. Big time save there by Juracek. And now this is a chance for Svozil to be able to dump this one down. He got a shot on that had to be stopped there by Garand. And now picked up as Kent Johnson is back on the ice. He's got a stick, but the timber is all near the right side dot. The shot goes just high. Picked up now by Czechia. Down to 4 minutes left to go in this second period. Here's a chance for Garand to play it. As Canada's power play is down to a minute left to go. Chance now Stankovic. Extra series of moves. Ken Johnson plays crisscross. Mason McTavish. Now Ken Johnson fakes the slap shot. McTavish scores! Beautiful setup there from Johnson to McTavish. It's 4-0 Canada. That was sweet. That was as easy as you like. Johnson faked the clapper. He gave it right to McTavish. McTavish made no mistake about it. 4-0 Canada. 2 for 2 on the power play. And Mason McTavish has a tournament leading 15 points in 5 games of action right now. And a plus 14, I believe. The fake slap from Johnson to McTavish. And Canada scores again with the extra man. 4-0 Canadians on Team Czechia. And that is exactly what you didn't want if you were Czechia. I was saying maybe getting into the second period, maybe only down 2, maybe somehow finding a goal. Instead, 2 infractions, 1 for too many men and 1 for slashing. Canada scored both times. So in a period that Canada, they did have some good chances, and Czechia had some probably better chances there, but a couple categorical mistakes there for Czechia in terms of penalties, and that probably puts this game into a situation where it's going to be too much of a deficit to overcome. Cormier had his shot go up and on a play. So, man, this was really, really good there. Again, just the setup there, the patience between Johnson and McTavish off the backhand. And then they got into their spots. McTavish got near the right side dot. Johnson got it near the high side blue line. So your forward was playing defense there. And then, bam, you just set it right back up there. McTavish with an absolute bomb, completely unchecked near the right dot. And I don't know how easy you would like that one to be, but it couldn't get much easier than that. So 3:10. What's going on, man? How are you doing? 3:10 left to go in the second period. It is 4-0 in favor of Team Canada. McTavish has just scored. Stankoven and McTavish both scored power play goals in this period for Team Canada. Cooley centers it across. And Stanishek had to make the save for Czechia. Czechia trying to get this out of their own end right now is Juracek trying to find it. Mason McTavish with his 8th of the tournament at 16-11, assisted by Johnson and Zellweger. Big time shot there for Zellweger, goes just wide. 2:30 left to go. Still in the office of Juracek there. Picked up now by Canada still off the backhand. All kinds of traffic, and this one goes up in our play. 2:26 left to go. And when we get a stoppage at the end of the second period, I will update my box score and let you know about some of the other goals that were left and some of the stuff on the power play. So I hope you join me there for the second intermission. And then once this is done, I will have the complete game story and coverage, hopelesssportsguy.wordpress.com. And then I will be keeping my eye on as we're getting the game story and play-by-play set up for Sweden and Finland in the second semifinal of the day. We're going to do this face-off one more time and reset the clock to 2:26 in the second period. So Stankoven and McTavish have your power play goals of the second period. They scored 2 in the first and 2 in the second in Canada. It's a 4-0 scoreline for Canada over Team Czechia. Picked up now. Canada has this in the offensive end. Slap pass, and that one goes just wide. Nicholas Waugh try to get a piece of it. McTavish, this goes back around his stick. Waugh tries to pick this up courtesy of Seeley. Waugh centers it out toward the defensive side now as it falls back and pinballs near the left side blue line. Big time shot goes wide for Zellweger. Picked up now by Canada. It's a minute 55 left to go in the second period. And across the red line now. Canada will pick this up in their own end. Sitting pretty right now with a 4-0 lead, as you would expect, but it gets iced, and Czechia will touch this up and get an offensive zone draw. See if they can make anything happen with a $1:47 left to go in the second period, and they really need to. And again, I think I would say this too for Czechia. As much as you want to be Team Canada, I still think it would be a hell of a thrill there for Team Czechia again, because no Czech Republic, because Slovakia and Czechia have separated. And again, I know that's a long time ago, but I always bring this point up as Gerard makes the save, and another one gets stopped by Garand. But since the separation, again, I know that's been a while, still you would think if you get a chance for a bronze medal, you would take that, because when you think about Czechia and the USA game on Wednesday, they already eliminated USA even though they were 4-0 in the prelims, and even though Czechia was 1-2-1. USA can't even medal. Czechia, even with the loss, has a chance tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, can get a win in the bronze medal game and represent something for their country. So that could be pretty cool. So another stoppage here on the draw. There's been a lot of unfair draws here within the last minute and a half. So we'll see who wins this one. Stankoven, and on the draw, he's been excellent on the draws. He is 10 for 10 right now that I last seen on the stat clock on the Jumbotron. Johnson, nice zigzag move. Sets it up there. Zellweger with an easy wrist shot. It was open all day long, and Semifinal makes the save. So Canada doing a little bit of razzle-dazzle at this point, as you think that they would. So this has been a good contest so far. I would say it's been a little bit one-sided now as Canada's finally started to pick some stuff up in this second period. And again, the 2 power play goals would help. And again, if you're Czechia on that side, you don't want to be making some of those big mistakes, but that's what's happened. Stankoven wins another draw, so man, he's been absolute money. Whether it's offense, defense, neutral zone, it does not matter. Canada now leads on the shot board again, 26-24, but more importantly for them, they lead on the scoreboard 4-0. Thompson lost it, picked up now by Czechia. Spot check will set it up, and this one goes just wide of Garan. Now down to 55 seconds left to go in the second stanza as it's getting ready to wind down. Mercifully here for Czechia, they kind of got punched in the mouth of their own doing because they gave up a couple penalties, one off a delay of game and one off a slashing. And they gave Canada a couple opportunities to get a couple more goals in the net, and they've been clinical in their power play, 2 for 2. So here's a chance now for Zabringo. And he's just going to take his time in behind the cage. You saw that a lot between the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Colorado Avalanche when Cooper and I were doing some games during the Stanley Cup Finals. Zabringo tries to get a piece of it now. This finds Czechia. Maybe they got time for one last rush up the ice. Jan Misek sits it across for Kulich. And that one gets blocked. It's a 2-on-1. It keeps it ahead onside. And they're going to say Bedard was now off. That almost bounced between DeFore and Bedard. That could have been a 2-on-1. It could have been a difficult save for Svanacek to make for Team Czechia. And it bounced off of the right skate of one of the Czechian defenders, and it just allowed the Canadian player to skate offside. And that would have been a chance that was McTavish with a chance there to Bedard, and it bounced off Sobolev, and it just stopped Canada from getting a chance. And it was just offsides. So DeFore, you're getting a chance to look at it now on the NHL Network and TSN side. Canada, no matter what, they're going to be enjoying a 4-0 lead, as you would think, as it's a neutral zone draw. They're going to be enjoying a lead of some kind of epic proportions here as it gets try to get cleared on the neutral zone. Czechia has to do one last bit of defending. They're going to race down. Maybe get a quick shot with the second left. No, they won't. So 26-24 on the shot board. Canada leads 4-0 after 2 periods. When we come back, we're going to call the third period action. I'm going to get my box score and everything all set up here. We'll call the third period action. If there's any other comments, questions, and concerns on the Colorcast side or the YouTube side, let me know. But I will see you in the third.
Teaching her how to drive. But Dad, why not use Greenlight to help her save for her own car? Slow along, getting paid. Oh, smoothies. That's strawberry? Soon, she'll go from washing your car. Lexus with her own. Even better, teach her how to invest in cars. Together, you can navigate the world of earning, saving, and investing. Because when you teach her how to be smart about money, she'll go far, real far. Invest in your best investment. Greenlight. This is the feeling of certainty. The feeling that comes from knowing you're inspiring your customers, uniting your team, recognizing achievements, and expressing heartfelt thank yous with promotional products people use and love. From the experts at Ford Imprint, your partners in creating special moments and memories by making people smile. Enjoy that feeling of certainty with promotional products at FordImprint.com. Ford Imprint, for certain.
Deep in credit card debt? Did you know Credit Associates can help you reduce that debt? To find out how, just scan the QR code. But in a nutshell, we can reduce the total amount of debt you owe by almost half, saving you thousands. Cut the decades you'll be in debt to as little as 24 to 36 months. And reduce your stress too. It's easy to get started. Just scan this QR code to see how Credit Associates can reduce your debt and save you thousands. Credit Associates. Live better. Debt-free.
If you or a loved one has mesothelioma or any other asbestos-related cancer, call now. Asbestos manufacturers sold deadly asbestos materials to thousands of companies, putting workers at risk. An estimated $30 billion in corporate trusts have been set aside to pay out claims to asbestos victims. You may be entitled to a portion of these funds and receive compensation without filing a lawsuit or ever going to court.
For your free legal consultation, call 800-543-0258. That's 800-543-0258. I'm not attorney spokesperson.
Reach Zach. His work-life balance is anything but balanced. But when he gets on the bike, he becomes zigzag. Zigzag exists outside of time. His heartbeat sounds like a remote from circle. You alright? The only notification he hears is the sound of the ocean. So if you want to reach him, talk to the ocean. The ocean. And Zigzag rides with Geico. It is saving money and getting great coverage is totally chill. Geico. Savings and service for both your sides. Sunday. We're making the quest compressed.
Stay in that fight all the time. Stay in the fight.
As we run all episodes of the ESPN documentary series that dives inside the teams and players vying for the Stanley Cup.
The Cup's easy. Not in the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Quest for the Stanley Cup Marathon. Sunday, 7 Eastern on NHL Network.
When you have autoclass damage, choose Safe Light. We can come to you and replace your windshield. Wow, thank you. Bye. Don't wait. Schedule now. Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace.
The full Pacific our coverage begins on TSN and CTV Canada's exclusive home for NFL football. James Sunday back with Cheryl Pounder, Jeff O'Neill, and Bob McKenzie. The stat I probably overused this entire tournament, the direct link between the best power play in the tournament and the gold medal. 6 of the last 7 gold medal winners have had the best power play. Canada 2 for 2 today, now 8 for 13 in the tournament. Why has it worked so well?
Well, it's a brilliant pass by Ken Johnson on the power play game, but I know this about hockey. Regardless of how many men you have on the ice, you have to protect the middle of the ice somehow. And the Czechs failed miserably here. But I'm just going to go to the boards here. You're going to see a brutal change right there. And then 1, 2, 3 guy changing. 3 guys against the board. Stankoven's wide open. I mean, you just can't give up the middle of the ice like that. A brilliant little pass by Ken Johnson. He's got a breakaway. That's terrible coverage right there.
Well, and certainly whenever you have shooters in your lineup, you have to get them into those spots where they need to be, their wheelhouse, if you will. And you know that Mason McTavish, he wants to be on his offside, in around the dot. You know how effective he is there. He gets his 8th, and then he gets to the top of his switch, opposite sister cycle. He gets him into position right in around the dot. Now, listen, this guy can wire one. You can do everything correctly, but when he gets the puck in that spot and he has the ability to convert, I mean, there's no chance when he puts that bottom hand down and just releases. But if you flash back to the 6-3 win against Finland earlier in the tournament, again on the power play, listen, they're running it through him right here, and there's nothing you can do when he has the opportunity to unleash them like that.
And Gord mentioned this has the opportunity to be a historic World Juniors for Mason McTavish because he's now just 2 goals away from tying the all-time Canadian record for most goals in a tournament. That is 10 and 3 points away for the all-time points record. So 4 periods for Mason McTavish to do just that. It hasn't just been the power play when the Czechs did get the opportunity on the PK. Special teams, absolute perfection for Canada.
That's right. And the best news for Canada, perhaps, is that they're avoiding the penalty box. The last time they played this Czech team, they got into the 10th round, they got into all sorts of power play problems for the Finns in the 3rd period. This time they've only gone to the penalty box once, and they put too many men on the ice. So when you have to kill a penalty, you look for a lot of different ways to do that. Start with your goaltender. Also put some pressure in front of the net when Duran came up with the puck. And a real scramble there. You want to get your active sticks going here. You want to knock pucks out of the air. Cooley did a good job of knocking that puck down and getting it out. And then you get it on the wall, and you just want to keep it there. And you don't want to allow the Czechs any free ice. And that's what Team Canada did, killing all sorts of time off that. So the only time the Czechs went to the power play, totally ineffective. That's been a story for them at times in this tournament. That was a great penalty kill by Canada.
We are 5 Canadian games and 2 periods into this tournament, so that would be 12 intermissions we've done. And I think this is the first time we focused at all on Dylan Duran. And just because he hasn't been the story, there hasn't been a ton of shots. He's just been dominating the games, which is incredibly rare for us for a starting goaltender for Team Canada. But he is the story today. 26-24 are the shots. And how big a difference maker has he been?
Well, when you have a dominant team, James, just like you mentioned, you say to your goaltender, you don't necessarily need to steal us a game. A timely saves is where it's at for you. And if we give up some opportunities like this save right here, you got to come up and make the save. Early on in that period, there was not a whole lot going on for Canada. They didn't look that good. And that was the opportunity for the Czechs to make a save. And they came in, we made one point blank save off a slap shot from the point. So not necessarily necessarily about volume, but the timing of those saves is so important for him and the team. Logan Stankoven's been terrific all over the ice, but the face-off numbers are ludicrous. 16 for 17 today, 75% for the tournament, which is by far and away the lead in the tournament. And Cheryl, it's not just the numbers, but the ease to which he's doing this. It feels like he's the only guy in the circle sometimes.
Well, yeah, he's going in, getting covered over the circle, getting really low, and he's just winning them clean. I mean, he's doing such an effective job. We didn't think it could get any better coming in at 68%, but as you mentioned, 75%. This is incredible of him. Just to be able to start the possession, D-zone face-off, O-zone face-off. He's been all over it and winning cleanly. And when you start with possession in these areas, yeah, you can forget the neutral zone, but it's in key areas of the ice where getting possession.
Okay.
Opportunity for that lane line to get that puck in particular. I mean, he has been so effective, not just there, but all through the ice, on the attack, in the defensive zone. He's been excellent.
I don't want to pop my tires, but that's how he used to win draws in junior. Back to you in the studio.
On the Czech side of this, let's remember the celebration after the win over the U.S. in the quarterfinals. First of all, that was spectacular, and I'm not saying that was their gold medal. They had nothing left today because they played a decent hockey game. They're fairly even with Canada shots, but it's so difficult.
What's going on, Patrick? How you doing, man?
Emotional games like that.
After 2 periods, it's 4-0 Canada.
We'll see if they have anything left in the third period.
So it looks like all systems go will be for the finals here. So we're going to wait and see. I'm going to call the rest of this third period and have the game story and play-by-play on the website per usual. But it's going to be Sweden and Finland. So in this game, let me take a look at for this here because I'll have the list in front of me because that is a good question. I know there is a lot of them, but I don't know if any of them are playing for Team Canada in specific. So Donovan Zabrango, he's on the first line defense for Canada. He's usually on the line with Olin Zellweger. He is playing for Team Canada. The 2020 third-round pick. Again, this is a U20 tournament. And the only other guy that would play, and he's not, is Sebastian Cossa, the goaltender for the Red Wings. So Donovan Zabrango for Team Canada. And let me see if I have anybody for Team Czechia. I don't believe there aren't any Red Wings on Team Czechia, although tomorrow, if it is Team Sweden against Canada, there will be a ton of Red Wings on there. There will at least be 3. There's going to be 2 on the first line of defense, because you know about Simone Edvinsson. And I believe there's a couple goal scorers as well. But for Czechia's side, Jan Bednar is supposed to be the goaltender, but Thomas Suchanek has been playing because he's been so good. So backup goaltender for Czechia. If something happens, as far as any forwards, no. So right now it's just Donovan Zabrango for Canada at this point. If it gets to Sweden, let's look at Sweden and Finland because we got the intermission right now. So any Finns, there's a crap ton of Finland players in the NHL here that are draft eligible, but not Red Wings. Looks like Emil Viro of the AHL Grand Rapids. So he's been in the system here for the Red Wings. They don't even have a year on him on that side. I'm just trying to scroll down to Sweden here. Okay, so I know because I know there is for some for Sweden. So again, as I said, Simone Edvinsson, that is the big time prospect that you're going to be able to watch there. So he's going to be on the first line, and then William Wallner. So Edvinsson, they talk about Patrick in the sense of next month when the training camp and all that stuff is all worked away. I understand Ben Chirot was signed. I know Olimata is there. I believe Simone Edvinsson is going to get every single opportunity possible to make the Red Wings roster day one. What would be interesting and what they hope for, again, that's not going to happen day one. He could make the roster day one, but he's not going to be the top defenseman day one, I wouldn't imagine. However, when you think about Mort Seider and you think about Simone Edvinsson, you have guys that both have incredible size, skating ability, and skill. And that really puts it to the forefront there. So I believe Simone Edvinsson, he's had a pretty good tournament, and I would expect him and Wallander, but especially Edvinsson, to make the team next year and get every opportunity to do as much. So Wallander and Edvinsson on defense here for Sweden, and for any goal scorers, Theodore Niederbach. Niederbach usually plays on the third line. I've seen him a couple times. He's pretty good. He's hit a few goals in the tournament. So much more for Team Sweden on that side. So just Sabringo for Canada that I see right now. So tomorrow if they play Sweden at 8 p.m. Eastern and you're not doing much or you got anything else going on the Colorcast side of things, I'd stick around for that for tomorrow's final matchup because that could be pretty good.
That's going to be a problem for Sweden if they take penalties.
How much pressure on Swedish goalie Jesper Wallstedt, who was the most highly touted goalie coming into the tournament?
I would have liked to have seen Sebastian Cossa actually play for Team Canada. That would be kind of cool. Just to get a chance to watch the Red Wings prospect play a little bit more, but Dylan Curran's been so good for Canada right now that probably isn't going to be the case.
We know Sweden has really struggled to get over the hump and to get to the gold medal game or win a gold medal. And I think at this point they really are feeling some of the pressure. And Wallstedt, who is widely regarded as the best goalie in this tournament, but the reason why Sweden thinks they have a chance to win a gold medal, if there was going to be a moment where he feels the pressure of the history of the failures of Swedish season.
So I know they're mentioning this on the NHL Network side. I think it's worth repeating here. So remember last year in the draft, Yzerman had a couple chances, and he's been good and all this stuff. I'm not saying anything, but I've heard in between Sebastian Cossa and the other goaltender that was rumored to be picked was Jesper Wallstedt. So Jesper Wallstedt plays for Team Sweden. So if Canada and Sweden end up playing tomorrow, I would assume maybe Finland is going to play Canada because their offense is a little bit stronger. But if it is Sweden and it's Jesper Wallstedt, you would get a chance to look at a goaltender that Yzerman could have picked over Sebastian Cossa and see how good he is. Jesper Wallstedt is product of the Minnesota Wild, and they think that he's going to be the next guy going forward. So once Marc-Andre Fleury hangs it up in a couple more seasons, you'd think he'd be done by the 2024 season. He's got the 2 years, and he's probably going to retire. Jesper Wallstedt should be able to go right in and do a lot of damage. They have him in high regard. He's a big athletic goaltender that can make a lot of saves. Again, I would never call anybody Andre Vasilevsky, especially for the Tampa Bay Lightning, but you think of those kind of goalies, they usually do pretty well. So that could be something to watch as well.
With promotional products for florists, we specialize in awesome items that are certain to awe and guaranteed to deliver some yeah. From apparel, backpacks, streetwear to high-tech items. Wow, I love it. Go to 4imprint.com and find some wow now. 4imprint, for certain.
Hockey League is known for investing in moments like this. But did you know we're also investing in this? The CHL, developing tomorrow's leaders. Let's update your quality slot.
So they're showing it on the intermission report of the second. 18 slot shots for Canada, 4 goals. Just 8 for Czechia, no goals. So it's 4-0 after 2. Logan Stankoven from Johnson and Owen Zellweger, and then Mason McTavish from Johnson and Zellweger again. So Johnson and Zellweger have been all over the ice. Kent Johnson has been really, really good. I've noticed him, again, I'm not just saying that because of U of M product, but he's been all over the ice, and Zellweger as well on the power play. Canada's had a couple power plays to work with. They've scored on both of those, and that's why they now have a 4-0 lead. Hey, Nick, what's going on, buddy? How you doing? So I got the early game now and then I'll be doing the game story and play-by-play. I'm not going to be doing the 8 o'clock game between Sweden and Finland, but tomorrow will be the 8 o'clock game for the gold medal final. So this is a chance right now in this under 20 tournament of the World Juniors to be able to probably watch a couple of the up and coming NHL players. Now, a lot of these guys are products of teams already. Team Czechia doesn't have as many. Team Canada obviously has pretty much everybody on that side of it. But even for tomorrow, whether it would be Sweden or Finland, there's a couple of Red Wings on that side, especially for the Sweden side. And you get a chance to really watch just some good teams play. And this is a chance for these guys, couple tournament actions, and then you would have probably your minor league training camps and things like that to see how it all works out. So we're going to be getting into the third period action here in a moment as we're going to get set for puck drop. So as I covered the last quarterfinal on Wednesday between Czechia and the United States. They ended up getting the upset, beating the United States 4-2. So U.S. will not even medal in this tournament. So if Czechia does not get through and they don't beat Canada here, they don't get 5 goals on the board. I can't imagine that they would at this point. Again, they're not really a high-powered scoring team. They're better off using the body and knocking people off the puck. The bronze medal game will be at 4 p.m. Eastern. I will be covering the gold medal game tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern. Likely Canada will be in it. Again, they'll be awaiting the winner of Sweden and Finland, and then whoever doesn't win that one will be playing 4 o'clock on Wednesday against Czechia if this result scoreline will hold. So Semifinal will play this one in behind his crease. Again, this broadcast, when we have the play-by-play here for you, not all everything will be as smooth as butter as far as the names. I got a lot of the roster in front of me, but unfamiliarity and the information is a little bit harder to come by, so I won't be doing as many call-outs. So Czechia is going to take a long time in behind their cage right now as we got 18:55 left to go in the third. Really just getting underway in the last stanza. It was 2 goals for Canada on even strength in the first, 2 goals for Canada on the power play in the second. They've taken advantage of both of their opportunities, whether it be even strength or power play, and they've done damage. Although the one thing I will say, if Canada plays Finland tomorrow, and that will end up happening, Finland has about a 50% power play marker. They've been the best in the tournament on the power play. That could be a very high-scoring game and something that could be very fun to watch. So Seeley will play this one across the red line as Mason McTavish has it now. McTavish now near the right side dot. Will play this back there for Seeley. This gets blocked before it hits Semifinal and picked up now by Czechia. Shot board is 27-24 in favor of the Canadians. Sudanich loses the puck as Logan Stankiv and Dallas Stars product tries to find it now as this bounces in between the event product in Kent Johnson, now playing for Team Canada. Thomas Bordelot and some of those other guys from Michigan have been eliminated. They've been on the United States side of it. Picked up now Stankoven off the backhand. He plays it to himself near the right side red line. Still trying to work through this between Czechia, and they cannot hold the blue line. So Canada still has it now. Cross pass up front. Momentary trip there. Got a piece of McTavish as this is sent back across the blue line. Zellweger with a shot, and it goes just wide of Szymanczyk. 17:20 left to go in the third period. Canada now has a 28-24 shot advantage, but most importantly for them, they lead 4-0 on the score sheet. As we get an icing, 17-17 left to go in the third. So John out here with you. I'm glad you could join me. We have a goaltending change. So it's Pavel Kajin, 6'2", 176 pounds, age 19. He's from Prague in Czechia. So they've taken out Szymanczyk, and he's going to get some time. And again, I don't think anything is wrong in the way that Simonik is played. I think they're calling him Simonik, so I'm going to make sure that I do it correctly here. I don't think there's anything wrong with the way Thomas Simonik has played, but considering the 4-0 scoreline, they're going to go ahead and try to give some other opportunity for another goaltender, which I don't think is a bad idea, but it would be nice to be able to watch Jan Bednar for the Red Wings prospect if he was going to be able to be there, but he might be the tertiary goaltender at this point. Canada picks it up now. Is able to stay on side, but Czechia and Mikhail Gut will intercept this thing. Czechia needs to be able to just kind of get some shots and get some breakouts. In the second period, they started out pretty good. They had the first 10 shots on goal. They even had an 18-16 advantage on the scoreboard shot sheet. But then Canada immediately started just putting it into practice. Backhand goes almost off the left bar of Dylan Garand, but picked up now by Canada. Because there's a chance now for Seeley. And he's going to dump this in across the red line as this gets stopped by the Czechian goaltender that's now just brought in. He's going to get some time in the third period as a big-time hit, knock one of the Czechian players down. Canada will intercept Ken Johnson trying to get a piece of it as this goes back in behind the end of Els Czech. Third line defense there for Czechia. Czechia now and across the red line. It's 1-on-3. They're going to need some reinforcements, but it's not coming as Olin Zellweger is able to get a piece of it here for the Canadian defense. Czech falls back to him now as David Spacek gets a piece of it and he gets spun around the right side dot. Czechia lost it across the red line. It's 1-on-2, but the defense and David Spacek will go ahead and pick this one up as this goes back to Olin Zellweger. Zellweger now and across the right side dot. It's picked around now by the defensive partner as they switch. Nicholas Waugh gets a piece of it now. Number 9 will bank this one off the kick plate, and this goes back to Cajun, the new goaltender here for Czechia. Czechia now trying to bank it across the left wing side and across the red line. Instead, they're going to center this one in. Dylan Garand will play this with the goal stick. This bounces off. It stays in the zone. Urich tries to get a piece of it. The Columbus Blue Jackets product that finds him now. Urich into the screen. Garand makes a nice stick save with the left pad there as it gets bounced off. Urich try to find a piece of it now. And this goes back to Svozil. Svozil got caught with a knee-on-knee and a slashing. He got a game misconduct there on Wednesday with the knee-on-knee collision as Garand ends up making the save from about the left wing side and the left dot. So those game misconducts are only for one, and they showed on the NHL Network side Connor Bedard laying the lumber here. So, Nick, if you're still in this broadcast here, Connor Bedard, if you get a chance to look at him, as he got a hit on check as well, he is supposed to be the number 1 pick in the 2023 NHL entry draft. So that could be, if the lottery balls fall the correct way, for the Montreal Canadiens, the Chicago Blackhawks, the Arizona Coyotes. There's going to be quite a few teams fighting for his services, and there might be one of those times where you think about the tanking mode. Connor Bedard, they say his similarities, and again, I always hate to do this because they do this on the basketball sensitive. He could be a little bit of a mix of Connor McDavid and Sidney Crosby. That's what they're saying right now. I'm watching him, and he looks pretty good. I think it also helps when you're playing with Mason McTavish, who has 8 goals, 7 assists, and 15 points in 5 games. Connor Bedard does look good, but the ability to him to just throw the body in the last couple previous and get some shots, I think that kind of just speaks to the point of how good he can be. Kent Johnson lost it. Picked up now by Czechia as this goes back in between Johnson. Johnson's going to go near the left side of the face-off dot. He's going to try to surface in and get this one as McTavish tries to find it in as well. McTavish with his 15 points is also a plus 13 in the tournament. That leads every single player in the WJC tournament right now. Picked up now. Svozil lost it, and this gets a chance for McTavish to try to find this thing right now. Picked up now as they play crisscross. Johnson with McTavish. Johnson lost it as this goes in across the blue line, and Canada will retreat into their own end. Dylan Sabrango, the Red Wings product, will get this one down the ice. He is the only Red Wings product right now that's playing for Canada, but he was a 2020 pick in the 3rd round for the Red Wings. So a chance for him to get some more seasoning, although he's probably not going to beat out Simone Edvinsson or Wallander on the Swedish side. If we get a chance to see them in tomorrow's contest, I'll get to keep my eyes open on that. Czechia will send this in deep to Garand as we've hit the 13:10 mark of the 3rd period. It's been all Canada, although Czechia, again, they've had some stops and starts. They've had a good beginning of the 2nd period, a decent beginning of the 3rd, but they just need to be able to create some offense, but they've just not been able to seem to do that right now. Canada's been able to shut them down. Now, Dylan Garand, after the first 2 preliminary games, the Canadian goaltender, played pretty good, and he's finally got the mainstay of starts as this bounces in between Stankoven and goes off sides. There might be a holding call, and we're going to get that when we come back into the official action. I was going to say Dylan Garand, he's done pretty good. I know they mentioned that, he doesn't have to do much. You just make the routine saves because the Canadian team is so good. I think that's kind of held on the forefront here. I would like to see what happens in tomorrow's contest, assuming because Canada's probably going to win this one, how they would favor against a team that likes to score more goals. Although I would say this, with the up and down action in Canada averaging about 7 in this tournament, maybe the up and down action could make things a little bit worse. So Sweden and Finland, as they're showing on the TSN side, the jerseys are there in the locker room, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. You can check that out. I'm going to be writing that down as we do the game story and the play-by-play and get all that stuff set up on the site. So Nemec for Team Czechia is going to the box for hook and hold. And yeah, you got a piece of McTavish, no doubt about it. So Canada's going to go on their power play for the third time this game. So back in the official action, face-off won by McTavish. He's going to hold. Zellweger gets it now. Olin Zellweger. Chance off the bomb. And this one goes just wide of the Czechian goaltender. Picked up now by Stankoven. He's already got a goal in this game off a nice pass from Kent Johnson. The Dallas Stars product is pretty good. He's looked really good on the draw as well. He's won a lot of draws. Doesn't matter whether it's in the offense or the defensive zone. $1:30 left to go in the Canadian power play. 12:10 left to go in the third. Zellweger has it now. He's going to take his time. He's going to power play quarterback this thing. He's going to drop this here to Mason McTavish, the tournament leader right now. 8 goals and 7 assists. Ken Johnson has it now near the right wing as he plays crisscross with McTavish. Near the right side, dot. Bedard tried to find McTavish there off the cross pass, and that went just wide. Zellweger picks it up now with Johnson. Fakes the slap pass. Chance now for Zellweger. Lost it. Tried to get worked around in between 3 Czechian players. Johnson's got it now. Works his way to the high slot. He just missed the right side bar. Zellweger slap pass to McTavish as the first line still been out there now. Zellweger, McTavish lets it go from the right dot where he just scored in the second period, but that one goes just wide. Zellweger now back to McTavish, cross pass Kent Johnson. Kent Johnson tries to find McTavish on the opposite dot from left to right in the face-off circle. McTavish holding. Plays it back now, Zellweger. Gets it now across. Mason McTavish, Zellweger. Kent Johnson bomb, and that one went off of the right pad and goal stick. Another one and set up here. Big time save. This is just a mass of shots there for Mason McTavish as Reilly Grigg gets a chance to look on it, and they're showing the McTavish family on the TSN side. It is target practice for him to be able to shoot at, and when you get a chance to get set up that one-timer, look pretty good. I think you're liking some of those opportunities. Selfishly, I think the family would like him to see get more than 16 points right now as he's got. And again, he's a couple goals away. He's got 8 now, 10 from tying the all-time Canadian record in this tournament. And I believe he's 3 points away from setting an all-time tournament record with just one more game to go after this. And for all intents and purposes, that could happen. Nicholas Waugh off the backhand side will pick it up and across the cage of the Czechian goaltender as this gets spun around. Czechia has a chance to kill some time. They look for a 1-on-3 pass off of a partial break. Off the backhand, it gets stopped there by Dylan Garand. So that was the first shot of Czechia, I believe, in this third period on goal of Garand. Most of those shots have gone wide. 10:15 left to go in the third. The shot board is 33-27 in favor of the Canadians. It's just updated to 28, but it is a 4-0 shot advantage, 4-0 goal advantage, I should say, for the Canadians, and a chance to punch their ticket to Saturday's gold medal game at 8 p.m. Eastern. Canada, and across the red line now, they will go back into their own end and reset up. We just hit the halfway point of the third period. Glad you can join me here, drawing out your play-by-play man. Rogers Place in Edmonton, Alberta. It is the site of the World Junior Championships. This is semifinal number 1. It's going to be Sweden and Finland, semifinal number 2 at 8 p.m. Eastern. So we'll keep my eyes and ears glued to that as we're writing the game story and getting some of that stuff down. Ellis Czech knocks down one of the Canadian players, but no penalties have been called. And I've noticed this throughout the tournament. It really has to be either a delay of game or something egregious for it to be called. And what normally happens in the tournament is it's a 1-on-3 the other way. Canada's only got the one. Mason McTavish power move to the goal, and he almost made something happen. The goaltender lost the goal stake, and one of the defenders will get that across. What I was going to say is not a lot of penalties have been called, and now Jan Misek scores. So I'll get back to that in a moment. Jan Misek shoots it off the low side. It beats Dylan Garand, so no shutout for him. And Czechia finally gets on the board, 4-1. So the 29th shot on goal is finally something that Czechia can celebrate. On Misek, it's at low stick side on the left, and Czechia is only down 4-1 now. So the penalties in this game and in this tournament, they're really much 5-minute majors for the most part, and then if you label it as a major, then you can then move it down to a 2-minute minor. That's the way that it's done, but most of these I've only either seen majors or delay of games or too many men on the ice. Most of the time you're letting these guys play. So Jan Misek, the captain of Czechia, gets them on the board. 9:06 left to go in the third. So at least they have that to celebrate about. And I can say this for sure. If you can get a push within the next 3 minutes, maybe get within two, then maybe you have some life there, but it's got to be quickly. I would say Czechia has got to score within the next 3 minutes, and then maybe we can see if we can make this a game. But still, no shutout here for Dylan Garand, and that is something to think about. McTavish off the back pass, holding in between three different players, and Czechia decided to try to fight him off of it, and this goes back and across the red line. I'll pull up this YouTube window in a minute just in case I get anything on that side. 8:30 left to go in the third period. Glad you can join me here for this contest. Nicholas Waugh will play this one ahead. Mason McTavish trying to find it now. Again, with Ridley Grieg also out there for the Ottawa Senators. He's not been able to play in this game. They've been shuffling the lines a little bit, but Canada's been pretty stacked, so they really haven't any problem generating offense. As this is Jan Misek is fifth of the tournament at the 10:54 mark, assisted by Kulich, the Buffalo Sabres product, and Spolzel, the defenseman for the Columbus Blue Jackets. So Misek from Kulich and Spolzel at 10:54 has got Czechia on the board. Big time shot, and this one gets blocked and cleared down the ice. 7:45 left to go in this third period. Back pass there. Demores lost it as the fourth line's out there for Canada. I haven't seen a lot of them right now. Czechia just trying to build a press a little bit. Milocek tries to get it now. As this goes back between the right side faceoff dot. Spacek lets it go. And that one goes just wide and up and on a plate. And I believe we're going to have a slashing penalty. And this one might be on Ottman of Canada. So Czechia might have a chance here on the power play, their second of the game, to try to draw within two. When we come back, we'll call more of the third period action in a moment. Canada's enjoying a 4-1 lead.
Czechia's got one of the more defeated balls. Don't put them penalty box. They can play 5-on-5, but they're probably going to lean on Ryan Reward. Loses inside position. And it's got to get caught up in the hands of Murray. August calls it bait. Oh, look at that goal.
What's going on? Anyone that's just joined in on the YouTube side, it is Czechia, I believe, with the power play. They have just scored, so now it's a 4-1 score line. Canada's still up by 3. This is semifinal number 1, doing the play-by-play here for you. John out here with you. Czechia is indeed on the power play with 7:28 left to go in the third. The captain, Jan Misek, had scored for Czechia. And worst comes to worst, Czechia will be playing for a bronze medal game at 4 p.m. Eastern tomorrow on TSN NHL Network. I will have the late game at 8 p.m. Eastern for the gold medal game. So Mishak has a chance now to win this draw and give Czechia, a chance at something else, trying to make this within 4-2. This is a minor penalty, but we'll see if Czechia can actually get on the board here. Kulich, slap shot. It's in! Immediately, Czechia scores on the power play, and we have a brand new game. This might have been tipped in front by Uric, and Czechia makes it 4-2. So they're not going away just yet. 7:16 left to go in the third. Tons of time. Canada commits the penalty, and on the second power play, Czechia finally gets one of the extra man, and now it's 4-2. That was a bomb there for Uric. It didn't look like it got tipped by anything, maybe just off of one of the Canadian sticks. And the Columbus Blue Jackets product makes it 4-2. And Canada needs to make sure that they finish this one off right now. So this is a welcome sight here for Czechian fans. Again, they played pretty well in this game so far. They've got within striking distance, and that's really all you could ask. And again, they stayed within striking distance of the United States on Wednesday until they finally pulled ahead with a couple of chances. So Cajun is now the goaltender here for Czechia, 361, 901 save percentage in the minor leagues last year. He got pulled there as Juracek got pulled out. So third period has been his chance for Cajun to be able to get some time. And right now, he started in with a 4-0 deficit, and now it's 4-2 with 6:58 left to go in the third. So again, I always like to play the game in terms of this. You got 6:58 left to go. You're down 2. If you get a goal within the next 3 minutes, that puts you within 1. And then maybe with a net pull, you might have a chance to be able to get something going in the game. You want to play it in terms of checklists. That's the way I like to do it, not in terms of just saying Czechia, but checklists in terms of where you would want to go in terms of time and space and parts in the game. And if Team Czechia can find a way to get one within the next 3 minutes, we might have a barn burner ending here. 6:35 left to go in the third period. John Under with you from Rogers Place, the site of the Edmonton Oilers and the World Junior Championships right now. Canada was enjoying a 4-0 lead. Now all of a sudden it's 4-2. 6:20 left to go in the third. Picked up now. Canada trying to fight this one off as this gets picked around and spun around. Off the backhand. Canada trying to get this down as they're going to dump this into the Czechian end, but it's going to be an icing. And now we have some go Canada go and go Czech go. We have some loud talks here. Some parts loud cheers from the fans that we haven't really heard too much. Some of the fans still have their masks and things like that. You have some of that stuff going over across the border just to make sure that they can watch some of this game. And again, the crowds have been a bit more full now that Canada is playing. Again, you have it hosted in Canada, Rogers Place, so you would expect that. So they're feeling a little bit of urgency here and probably sitting on their hands after Czechia had scored the last couple of goals here. 6:04 left in the third, so you would figure that is a ton of time left, and we'll see what ends up happening. 34 shots to 30 in favor of the Canadians, but Czechia has scored the last 2 goals. They lose the offensive zone draw. 5:55 left to go in the third. Picked up now by Czechia. We'll see if Canada can continue to kill some time, win some draws, and get it down the ice. I don't think it's particularly important that Canada scores a goal right now, but I do think it's particularly important that they don't give up another one. Zellweger, cross pass McTavish, and Nicholas Waugh is going to get this one. So Nicholas Waugh gets an all-important goal here for Canada. It is now 5-2 as Czechia got close, and now all of a sudden Canada up by 3. So Nicholas Waugh makes it 5-2, and Canada can breathe a little bit easier. So Zellweger off the forecheck, nice move to knock the puck and pry it loose. He kind of started it. I don't know if he's going to get a secondary assist on it, but Zellweger makes the pass across, and Waugh finishes it off. So Zellweger with his third point of the game. Nicholas Waugh makes it 5-2. So this is a big time goal here for Canada. When the noose was starting to get a little bit tight, Canada was able to alleviate some of the pressure. Juracek lets it go, and it goes just wide of Dylan Garand. Picked up now as this is spun around by Jurek. Spacek lets it go through the screen, and this gets picked up now by Czechia. Now Canada just trying to be able to kill some time, set it up in front of Garand, and it goes just wide of the right dot. 5 minutes left to go in this third period. Still in the Canadian offensive zone, and we're going to get a play blown dead as we're going to get a neutral zone draw with 5:02 left to go in the third. We're going to get a stoppage. Zellweger with the setup there to Wall right on the doorstep. He makes no mistake about it, shoots a 5-hole, and it's a 5-2 lead for the Canadians. Come right back. We're going to finish this game off in a moment.
I don't like to spend a ton of time shopping, but I like to look good. For me, Poshmark makes that so easy. And whenever I get tired of something, I just relist it back on Poshmark. It's honestly a little addicting. Making some money I can spend to keep my wardrobe fresh.
Coaching all the way to the end. Dave Graham will talk to the boards about how to get through the next 5 minutes. Secure the win. But here's Stankoven. This is third face-off in a row in the defensive zone. He wins another one. Keeps the play alive, wins the battle. Gets on his horse. Negates the icing. Shoulder finger defenseman. Wisely elects to change at the right time. Instead of chasing offensive play late in the game. But because all those little details still a cross away now, tucks it home and it makes it 5 to Canada. They thought to pick up a plus and the recognition from the teammates that he had himself sequence.
Back into the official action here. 4:50 left to go in the third period. John Under with you. We just saw Nicholas Waugh score an all-important goal for Canada. It's 5-2 again. It was 4-2. Czechia just scored the last couple before Nicholas Waugh gave Canada back or Joshua Waugh, I should say, gave up a 3-goal lead here for Canada. So Zellweger and William DeFore gets the secondary primary assist. 4:25 left to go in the third period. Czechia, disposal. Has it now for the Columbus Blue Jackets on defense. He dumps this down the ice. This gets gloved from a long way out by Garand. And here's a chance for Dylan Delmastro to get this one down the ice. Picked up now by Canada. 4 minutes left to go in the third period. Czechia needs 3 goals. And again, we will wonder. I haven't seen as much of this in the IAHF World Juniors here, that there has been as many goalie pools, but you think you have to have that at some point if you want to be able to try to get back into this game. It doesn't really matter if Canada scores another one at this point. This game's probably out of reach within 3, but maybe try to get closer with the empty net pool and see if you can get one past Dylan Garand. He's given up 2, but he's been pretty good in this game so far. I would think this is probably one of Garand's better games. And again, for as good as Canada is, all he's really got to do is be able to make the saves that he's supposed to make, and he's done that so far. So Canada looking for the gold medal game tomorrow. All they have to do is just hold off the last 3 minutes and 15 seconds while they'll await the winner of Finland and Sweden. That game is going to be on 8 p.m. Eastern. Here's a chance now for Canada to go back into their own end and kind of circle this around. They're kind of just effectively killing the time at this point. Czechia needs to be able to get something going, but Canada's not allowing them to do that. As Kent Johnson will get the pressure to keep it in deep. Now Czechia, although it's 2-on-4 the other way, all kinds of contact near the middle of the slot in front of Garand, and Czechia just trying to get something going on the offensive end, but they cannot corral the biscuit. There's a chance for Spacek in behind the cage, but the pass in the backhand goes wide off the blue line and down the ice. Picked up now by Kulich. Buffalo Sabres product in the top 10 just in this entry draft. Kulich now off the backhand pass. will get this one deep. Near the left face-off dot, the wrist shot goes just off the mask of the Canadian goaltender Dylan Garand and down the ice. 2:05 left to go in the third. John out here with you from the World Junior Semifinal number 1. It's Canada and Czechia. It's a 5-2 score line. Canada 2 minutes away from a gold medal game on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Again, I will have the full coverage, hopelesssportsguy.wordpress.com, of this game with the play-by-play. And as I'm doing the story, I will keep my eyes on Finland and Sweden as far as what to look for in that game and who's going to be playing. Buck 35 left to go in the contest as Garand will play this one. Olin Zellweger has it now. He's got 3 points in this game with 3 assists. He's looked pretty good in comparison with Kent Johnson on that power play. Those guys have worked some magic together. Mason McTavish, I got to watch him a little bit for the first time, and Connor Bedard, and I see what the fuss is about between all of that. Mason McTavish, with 15 points in this tournament so far, he's paced everybody. He gets 2 more goals, he tie a Canadian record at 10, and he gets 3 more points. He would tie an all-time record, I believe, at 18. Minute left to go in the contest. Canada gets us in across the red line, and they will get their change. 5-2 is your score line right now. Czechia has effectively ran out of time unless they can pull a miracle out of the hat. The Canadian fans are starting to stand and cheer their team right now as they know they're going to be going ahead for a gold medal game tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern. Czechia, one last rush down the ice. This gets bounced up off the mesh and out of play, and we will get a neutral zone draw as the Canadian flag is starting to be waved. So Czechia will play in the bronze medal game at 4 p.m. Eastern. They will play against the loser of Sweden and Finland today, 4 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, and whoever wins between Sweden and Finland will play in the gold medal game against Canada. So it was a fun game in this contest. Again, as I said, I want to look for some things in terms of Sabrango for the Red Wings prospect. He looked okay from what I saw, but I think a lot of it has to do with Mason McTavish and Connor Bedard and some of these other forwards, and Kent Johnson, the number 4 pick of the Columbus Blue Jackets last year. They've looked really good, and what I've seen from the Canadians in their top line, it has been as advertised. And again, Czechia holds Canada to 5 goals, and again, that's a little bit more low toward their total. They average about 7. They're going to win this one as they play in behind the net of Dylan Garand. Canada advances to the gold medal game at 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, and I will have that call for you. They await the winner of Sweden and Finland. That game is going to be upcoming in just about another hour. So I'm going to have this game coverage here for you, and then I will be back tomorrow on the call between Canada and the winner of Finland and Sweden. Have a good night, everybody. We will talk to you soon. Peace out.
This week, so nice touch playing the song. They always pick for